And I'm going to tweet it out too, because I'm a professional YouTuber. Everyone knows that's not true. Hey, we got your brother here, Mac. I cannot remember his name. Kendoros. But he said he didn't mind if I call him Caleb, so I'm gonna call him Caleb because I can't pronounce that.
I'll be right back.
Hello.
Hey Caleb, welcome. Oh, Ray's gone. Well, anyway, howdy folks, EJ here, and welcome back to the beginning of another Dungeons & Dragons stream. I am EJ Monkey, your Dungeon Master, and we're waiting for Ray to return. So, just as a heads up, we have a lot of characters, and they're in a lot of different groups right now. They've basically split up and gone like to all different parts of the island and started in different spots, and it's kind of a mess. So we have like 10 or 11, I don't know, somewhere in that range of different characters in the campaign now, but they're all in different groups. So we have Hawk and Stu's characters, who are like way north on the island. We have my sister's character who's way south on the island.
I ran back down, remember?
What do you mean you ran back? I mean you're in the middle. You were at the bottom of the battlefield where the humans are.
Yeah, so it's not like the far.
Well, it's
anymore.
very far north compared to where everyone else is. It's not the northernmost part of the island, but it's still north. Then we also have Ray and Jack's character and Mac's character, who are basically in the center of the island. And then we have Shroomy and Izzy's character, who are on the eastern-ish middle of the island. So we've got like 4 different groups, and we're gonna, yeah, it's gonna be rough to like switch between them, and like everyone will have to take a turn, but it'll be fine. Also, Ray, slap me if I say any ums or uhs. I'm gonna try to get better at that, because I don't want to mess people up and make them bored or annoyed at me.
Alrighty.
Anyway, I guess we're ready to go. So we're gonna start off with Hawk. So Hawk, you are Edgy Edward.
Oh,
sorry. I'm doing it already. What'd you say?
Oh, I was wondering which character I was playing. Okay.
Yeah, you're Edgy Edward. Yes. So, catch us up. Sorry, I said already. It's really hard to not do that. I am gonna try.
You're supposed to. It's a part of being a human. You're supposed to say it.
Well,
you're
Ray
just
says
not
I
supposed to. No, it's a natural part of speaking. It's more unnatural to not say it than it is to say it. You're just not supposed to say it more than, I think it's 18 times an hour or something. Or 18 times per 20-minute speech. Something like that.
Okay, I don't know where you got that stat from, but that's fine. Alright, so catch us up.
Speech class, where they specifically tell you you're supposed to say it.
You see, I was actually told in my speech class that you're not supposed to say it at all.
You're not supposed to say it, so you're not supposed to say it so often that it becomes noticed by the audience. If people are specifically listening for it, you will always hear it when somebody is talking.
True.
Because it's a natural, it's called a natural pause. We use it for filler language so that we can breathe and get our thoughts straight. It's a good thing. It's healthy. If you try and prevent yourself from doing it, you'll die.
No, you won't.
Well, I'm gonna try to cut down on it, because Ray was saying that some of his viewers came to my stream and they were like not able to follow the story because I was umming and ahhing too much. So I'm gonna try to.
It a lot.
I'm sorry, I talked really fast, and then I'm like, oh, I ran out of words to say. Let me just put in an or in there. And
that's why you slow down and think a little bit.
But I talk too quickly. I get excited about stuff. Anyway, Hawk. Oh, you're showing your camera.
Hey, there's Hawk.
Yeet. Yeah. All right, go ahead and catch us up to what you were doing in the last session where you existed.
So Edgy Edward has been doing some cool stuff. Took over the orc army, and now they're all dead. And also,
very accurate.
That's pretty much what happened. Yeah, pretty much summed it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else you want.
That's about it. So
that's about what happened. Yeah.
Well, in the area that you're currently in, what time of day was it when you ended? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll just skip ahead. So
because I slept.
You are a tiefling with red skin. Am I correct on that? Alright, so you are Edgy Edward, tiefling with red skin, and you're with this, I forget if he was a dark elf or a regular elf or some kind of elf. Huh?
He is a wood elf.
wood elf. Okay, so just an elf. And you were chilling out, or literally chilling out in Stu's character's case, but Stu's just not here, so he's going to be just kind of doing whatever you want, Hawk. So you are with Stu's character. You have just murdered, or actually no, you weren't with him, but you're coming back down south to the human line after killing.
No, remember I was with
literally
him
all the
because he didn't kill Steve in time, so I had to come back and do it.
You killed Steve?
Yeah.
Why'd you kill Steve? I thought you wanted to like keep him
Because
alive.
I told Stu to do it, and then he didn't do. I managed to go kill like 20 people and get back, and he still hadn't managed to do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, anyway. I really don't know how to begin this. So yeah, you're still in that same field that you were in before. Hey,
He
Jack,
wasn't. He was
welcome.
part of a special thing. Anyway, so I'm just gonna say yeet, and then leave. And there
What
you
a
go.
great thing for me to join into.
Hi, Jack.
Yeah, welcome,
Hello?
Jack.
In case
well,
you can tell, my voice is bad, so Glomporio will be either sounding weird today or taking a break.
okay. So where exactly do you go, Hawk? You are on an island. Where do you plan to go?
I'm going to the coastline, and I'm gonna find a boat that's leaving, and I'm gonna hop on it. I'm gonna sail away to my next adventure and retire from this island. This is a terrible island. I hate
Yeah,
it.
this is a fantastic
out.
beginning to our Dungeons and Dragons campaign. No description at all, just the character leaves. We don't even know where he was. Don't know what he's doing.
Okay, fine.
That's
I
fine.
stand out.
No,
from
it's fine.
my
I'm
sitting
laughing
position.
that it's
I put
hilarious.
my orb in my pocket. I look at all the dead orcs around me. I say "Yayeet" to the general, and I book it for the East Coast, where I hop on a boat and I sail away to France.
Yes, because France is a place you can go. So the human line, the general in particular, are just kind of like watching as you, Edgy Edward, just kind of like start walking away, and just like you're never seen again. You disappear over the hilly horizon, and they're just like, what just happened? And as they begin to like wander towards where the bodies of the orcs are and like cross the battlefield, they see no living orcs in anywhere as they're walking, and they're just kind of like examining the battlefield like, what the heck happened here? Stu's character kind of goes with them and is just very like confused and concerned about what has occurred as Edgy Edward has left all the orcs dead in his wake. Meanwhile, let's switch over now to I forgot your screen name again, so I'll just call you Caleb. Caleb, what is your character doing? You are on a boat. You have been sailing for a couple days now. You're in a boat of many refugees from the mainland, which has been infected with a plague. So there are many sick people on this boat, and they're all trying to like find a new land to, well, hopefully not die in. You need medical attention. You are not infected yet. You're actually doing okay compared to several or many others on the ship. You tried to escape the infection before it got everyone on this boat sick, but sadly, as you were voyaging, many people began coughing. Some people are below deck coughing up blood. This ship is kind of big, by the way. It's like kind of a standard sized, like kind of pirate ship looking thing. It's not a pirate ship. You're not pirates, but it's just that kind of size of ship. You are currently above deck, just kind of sitting on a barrel while you feel the salty sea breeze blow through your hair. And it's a sunny day. Sun is about directly overhead. It's about noon. And Hawk, you are also on this ship. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Barry Broadwind. I hunt kobolds and orcs. Mostly kobolds, though.
Okay, what race are you?
I'm a halfling.
Oh, wow.
Blonde hair and blue eyes.
You like your halflings.
I've only played 2.
Oh, well.
They just
They both probably are broken too.
my characters are never broken.
They're
Thank you.
always broken.
I've never
Caleb.
played a broken character in my life.
Caleb,
Omega lol.
would you like to say that you know this this other halfling because you are a halfling as well?
Sure.
Oh,
I mean, my
was asking
backstory
Caleb.
is that I hunt kobolds and complete monster contracts. So I don't know what
nice.
his backstory is, but
Would you like to enlighten us, Caleb?
So I am Rob Wise Hamg. You may call me Bob.
already I want to know him. My bestie.
I am on the quest to find my master, Mr. Brodo. He mysteriously disappeared when a foreign wizard showed up, and
Are you sure
they
his
had
name
many
wasn't-
secret meetings together, and he vanished suddenly into the night.
Are you
So
sure his name wasn't
I've
Frodo
gone searching for
Baggins?
clues to his current location, so I can return to his service.
I played a character earlier in this campaign called Frodo Baggins.
Yeah, Ethan told me that.
Yep.
There's also kind of a running joke that every session Hawk has a new character, so we just keep killing off his characters, having them like
Hey,
disappear.
Edward didn't
or
die.
Yeah, he yeeted himself away apparently on a boat, so that's fine.
He lived.
So that's why
Mostly.
Hawk has played so many characters. It's not that this campaign is really deadly, it's just Hawk doesn't want to play the same character.
Well, you guys complain about all my characters.
That's true. You break all of them.
Not broken.
So the sea seems pretty calm as you're going along, until the captain shouts, or actually the lookout in the crow's nest shouts, "Land ho!" And you guys look to the horizon and you see an island coming into view. It's a nice grassy, or it looks grassy, but it's actually like thick trees. It's a forest, but it's far away, so it just looks green. You can see basically the general shape is it kind of looks like a Hershey's Kiss. There's like a big spire, big stone mountain sticking out of the top of the middle of the island, and you guys are coming in. It looks like there's two large sandbars to the left and the right of the island, so you're kind of like going right in the middle, almost like open arms, kind of like welcoming you in a hug, and you're going straight towards the middle of the island. It looks like there's several other smaller mountains that are lined up with the large mountain that you're sailing into. People excitedly begin to kind of like look around and like get up and like look over the railings of the ship and kind of hold on to the railings as they're being rocked back and forth by the gentle waves, trying to get their sea legs still. They've only been at sea for a couple days and they're not terribly used to it. Most of these are civilians that are also refugees from the infection, or the plague that's been spreading across the land. What would you guys like to do?
Did you say he needs medical attention? Is that how we started this?
No, I said that many people on the ship do. Like, many people are infected with it, so they're like coughing, beginning to cough up blood, and not doing too well. He is currently fine.
Okay. That's cool. I'm gonna take out my flute because I am a multi-classed ranger and bard. Because that's what I spent my 2 levels on. Because apparently broken characters are unloved. So instead, I brought a fun character. So, can I play my
AKA
flute
a broken
and
one.
raise morale?
Alright, so you are sitting on a barrel next to Caleb's character of, what's his name again? Rod?
You can call me Bob.
Bob?
Bob.
Okay. So you're sitting on another barrel next to Bob. Bob, would you like to say that you already know this Hawk's character, or would you like to say that you just met or are meeting now?
I assume we met on the boat.
Okay. So you kind of know each other. You're just kind of chilling together. Halflings
Hi,
stick
I'm
together.
Barry Broadwind. I killed kobolds a lot in my youth, and now I play music on the flute. I'm not very good, but I aspire to be one day.
You will probably never be as good as Mr. Brodo.
Oh!
Well,
Oh.
most likely not. However, I do aspire to pick up.
No, he's the greatest at flute. Just at stories. You'll never be as great as he is.
Wow.
I can't wait to reach land so we can see if we can find some trace of him.
He just rejected you completely, Hawk.
No, I feel so attacked.
How are you going to respond to this?
I can shoot arrows pretty good too.
Not as good as Mr. Bro, dude.
Yeah, apparently I'm just not as good.
You're inferior.
It's like Mr. Brodo is the same class as you are, only like level 50.
It's like
it turns out
you
he's like a
versus the
level
girl.
above you.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's just always one level above me. No matter how many times I multi-class, he got there first.
So as you guys are talking, the boat is continuing to rock. People are just kind of like looking around. There are still many sick people below deck, so you can kind of hear like the coughing and like, but you hear them kind of like being told the news that there's land, and they're kind of getting like a little bit hopeful that they might have a chance to get some healing plants or something that'll help them to overcome this horrible disease that they've contracted. You guys would know from being on the mainland that this disease kind of takes about 3 days to really set in. On the first day of being kind of infected-ish, it doesn't really do too much. You just kind of feel a little fatigued, and it's not pleasant, but it's like a little bit harder to breathe. You breathe a little heavy, but it's really fine. The next day, you start to like cough a little bit and not feel good at all. You start to like have your limbs feel heavy, and you don't really want to do anything. On the third day, you begin like coughing up blood and stuff, and then you kind of like slowly degenerate worse and worse until you die. So that's what you guys would know from being on the mainland and having seen many people on the mainland die. And this boat is getting closer and closer to the land at this point. You're beginning to see the sandy beaches, like nice, gorgeous orange and yellow sand glistening on the other side of this this nice like big bay that you're sailing into. When suddenly there's a large crunch, and you hear the stern, or is it the bow or the stern? I think it's the bow is the front of the boat, smash into something, and you hear like a lot of splintering wood and like cracking planks as the boat scrapes against either a sandbar or some rocks or something. What do you guys do as you're jolted off your barrels and things start like falling off the ship and stuff?
Apparently, I don't play the flute.
Well, you were playing the flute, or at least trying to insert the like terrible flute.
He was
song.
playing the flute and he accidentally swallowed it.
Oh, just talks in flute the rest of the campaign.
Cries in flute.
So you guys just are not going to do anything?
I guess I go to the front of the boat to see what we hit.
Mm-hmm. The boat has like completely smashed into whatever this thing is you crashed into, and it's like kind of motionless now. It's not moving forward. It's not sailing any direction. It's just kind of like stuck against whatever it smashed into. I forgot your name. I'll call you Bob. Bob, you climb up a small ladder from the middle of the boat and going up to like where the bow is, I guess, and you take a look over the side of the boat. You can see roll me perception. This is the first roll I guess you're doing. Do you know how to do rolls?
Not really.
Okay. Do you have a random number generator pulled up on Google?
I can give him one.
Oh, okay.
I did. Hold on.
Oh, that's the same thing I was going to send.
Oh, cool.
The one in the Discord chat's nice because you get to put your modifiers on it first. You don't have to do math.
However, it
The one
doesn't.
in the Discord chat. I have one up on Google.
Okay, cool.
My wisdom is 2, so I have a -4 on that.
A -4. Oh, your wisdom is -2.
Handwise?
Jeez.
No,
Alright.
he is a wisdom score of 2.
Oh, that's his actual score. Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not very wise.
Not very
I
perspective.
rolled a 14.
Handwise.
So it's a 10.
You rolled a what?
A 14, then -4 for
Okay, so
being foolish.
yeah, as you're looking over the bow of the ship and trying to see what you guys hit, you can see that there's basically like just frothing water. Like you see some the waves kind of like breaking against the ship and causing like a bunch of white bubbles kind of to form along the surface of the water. And you see that there's a bunch of rocks, basically the same color as the mountain that you saw sticking out of the center of the island. It's that same kind of like grayish, dark grayish volcanic stone. and it looks like there's a large, like a large rock something. I can't think of the word for it. I guess a large rock outcropping that kind of like is just below the surface of the water, making it kind of hard to see and also very dangerous to ships. And it's basically just like chewing up the wood of the ship. There's like big holes being torn in the wood of the ship at this point because the waves are just slamming the boat into it over and over again. And there's basically just a large spiky rock just kind of stuck into the side of the boat, making the boat unable to move any direction and get away from it.
If I had $1 for every time you said
I know. Okay. Start slapping me again, Ray. I
don't
was
know
trying
when
to find
to
the right
slap you
word.
because Hawk is going to instead say, "Don't slap him." But yes, you said 29 times in 20 minutes.
Probably, yeah.
and then you said it twice after that, so that's 31.
Oh my goodness. I don't exactly have a prepared speech for every single thing I need to say.
Well, that's why you slow down and think.
Well, then it gets boring because we have 4 groups to get to. We haven't even gotten to half the people in the call so far. So, either Hawk or Bob, what would you guys like to do? Your ship is
Wait, so our boat
breaking
hit
apart. Yeah, you hit
okay.
a large rock outcropping that's below the surface of the water, and the boat's beginning to break apart. People are like kind of going, "Oh, what do we do?" And the sailors are kind of running around, pulling rigging, and like trying to go on below deck, bailing out buckets of water, that kind of thing.
All right. Well, if we learned anything from the Titanic, the band plays on. So I'm going to take my flute out and continue to play, but I will also cast heroism on some random person. I don't know. I'll cast it on my friend the halfling.
Okay, what does heroism do exactly?
It fills him with immense bravery, and also gives him temporary HP every 6 seconds. Gives him 4 more temporary HP every 6 seconds for 1 minute.
Okay, so it like adds up.
No.
Okay, it doesn't. What?
Yes, it does. What do you
Okay,
mean?
I'm gonna just talk.
He gains it. It doesn't set him to a temporary HP equal to my modifier. It gains temporary HP equal to mine.
All right, Bob, what would you like to do? You suddenly are filled with like determination. Undertale reference.
I get it.
I'd like to try to cast Cure Wounds on the boat.
I don't think that would work. That's like for healing injuries. No. That's not.
Cure Wounds works on flesh. Mending works on material.
Okay, I don't.
A good thought, though.
Alright, well then, is there a lifeboat around? I feel emboldened to get off this boat.
Your instinct is to run
Wait, what?
and leave Hawk behind.
I'm just playing my flute.
So you're playing your flute, you're trying to look around for a lifeboat. You would see that they have only basically one little dinghy, like one tiny little rowboat, that's on the left side of the ship, or port side, I think? Port side of the ship. It's hanging there with some ropes. It is functional. It is not being used right now, but there are some people that are kind of eyeing it like, oh, should we use that? And just for your guys' reference, you are still probably about half a mile from the actual like beachy shoreline, so it would take you quite a while to swim there. I don't know if you would be strong enough to swim there, like just as a halfling, but I mean you can try it if you'd like.
I have 20 strength.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you could probably make it. Actually, of course, remember that one time where you tried to go after Mr. Brodo and didn't know how to swim? Never mind.
And Sam's coming with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's super brave right now.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to swim. That's right.
I don't know. Has it been okay? So first of all, he should have gained 4 more health because it's been 6 more seconds. Now he's got +8.
Yeah. All right. I'm just.
Doing well.
He shouldn't be taking any damage in theory.
Okay, well,
there's
he
not
has
any
them
enemies
anyway.
around, so I'm not going to bother with like.
He's immune to being frightened as
okay.
well
All
for a
right.
whole
Yeah.
minute.
Wow. So he's like, who needs boats?
It's pretty cool. But can I roll a performance check with my flute?
Yeah, you go for it.
Nice. I'm gonna inspire so many people.
Oh my gosh.
Alright.
Did you put all your points into
Awesome.
performance?
I did not know. That is a 23.
Oh my gosh, wow. So you play the most beautiful ballad the world has ever heard, and you're just like
Play the
fluting up a
Titanic
storm,
theme.
you kind of turn around, Bob, and you're like, I thought you said you didn't play the flute much, and you're aspiring, but he's like playing amazingly, and everyone's kind of like, oh, okay, everything's gonna be alright. Even though the ship is basically like breaking apart and slowly sinking down worse and worse into the water, and there's horrible grinding and shattering wood noises. So some sailors are kind of like jumping out of the boat onto the rock outcropping and like trying to push the boat off of the rocks, but it's not actually working that well. They are not able to succeed at that.
It's even better by the fact that it keeps cutting out.
Yeah. That's me taking my breaths.
That's the aspiring part.
The fact that I don't give up. That's the inspiring part.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I jump down and try to help the sailors push the boat off.
Okay, roll me a dexterity check to see if you can jump down onto this rocky outcropping that's just below the water without, like, slipping and cracking your head open.
Okay.
Also, you will see that a couple of these sailors do happen to do that, basically the same thing. They don't crack their heads open, but they try to jump onto these rocks and they just kind of slip because the surface of the rocks is a bit mossy and like slimy, and they just slide into the water and can't stand on it very easily.
I roll a 15.
Okay, is that 15 plus something or just 15?
What?
I said make a dex roll, so is that 15 plus anything? What's your dex modifier?
+1.
Plus 1, okay. So
16 then.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you jump and you land on these rocks and you do not fall. You manage to keep your footing as you land on this rock outcropping. What would you like to do now? Continue pushing on the boat and try to dislodge it from the rocks?
Yep.
Okie doke. So you join these other about 5-ish sailors who are standing on the rock outcropping and trying to like push the boat so that the one spike of rock that's kind of like sticking into the side of the ship will be dislodged and you're able to dislodge the ship from it. Let's see how well you do. Go ahead and roll me strength while I'm rolling for these other soldiers. I mean, sailors, sorry, wrong word.
Alright. 14.
14. Alright, so you managed to dislodge it most of the way. A big chunk of wood kind of like breaks off and goes flying above your heads, but you do manage to dislodge the ship with the help of these other men, and the ship kind of begins like kind of sailing ahead again. So it's going off to your right. You're standing on the rock outcropping, looking basically at the ship. And to your right is where the island is. The rock outcropping goes along towards the island. So you could just walk along the rock outcropping to the island if you wished, or you could jump back on the ship and try to join it as it's going towards the middle of the island. Or going towards the island.
I'll walk.
Okay. So you stay on this rock outcropping. The other sailors immediately kind of try to jump back on the ship and like grab onto the rigging and pull themselves back up. Most of them succeed except the one that was in the water. He is kind of like swimming and is not able to grab on and catch his way back up to the ship. So he manages to like swim back over to you and relax on the rock outcropping. Meanwhile, the ship begins to sail forward again, pulled by the wind of the water, the wind of the sea, and it's going back towards the island. But you see that the water is very turbulent in this little bay, and the ship seems to be going directly into like this kind of, not really like a whirlpool, but it's definitely not like very safe water as it's going into this area. Roll me a perception, both you and Hawk.
Hmm.
6.
24.
Okay, wow. So yeah, you
I rolled
don't really
19,
notice
so.
very much, Bob, but Hawk, Or what's your character name? Bree something?
Barry Broadwind.
Barry Broadwind. So Barry, you notice as you're playing your flute beautifully, you kind of look out the side and you see the intense like choppy waters and how it's like even worse in this area than it was in the rest of the area for some reason. And as you're looking around, you can kind of see like all along the shoreline, there's like broken bits of ships. There's some shipwrecks in the middle of this bay that you're in, and along the rock outcropping you see like the old remnants of other ships that have met the same fate as your ship seems to be in right now. And also your ship is getting deeper and deeper into the water. The hole in the ship is so big at this point that it's basically just kind of like sinking. Many of the people who were under the below deck, the injured and the sick, were all, or not injured, just the sick, were in like stretchers and that kind of thing, and now they're all kind of like trying to get up and fending for themselves, trying to pile into the little dinghy, and the sailors are attempting to unrope the dinghy from the rest of the boat so it doesn't get pulled down. The ship is probably about half filled with water at this point and half sinking. What would you guys like to do? Bob is kind of being left behind slowly as the ship like goes farther and farther away towards the land. Bob, would you like to just walk along the rock outcropping and get to the island that way? Leave them all?
Yep.
All right.
I'm still on the boat, right?
Yeah, you're still on the boat, Hawk.
Nice. Alright. I think it's time we change things up a bit. So, is there still people on the boat with me? There's still people, right?
Yeah, there's a ton of people. Some of them are kind of like abandoning ship and like trying to grab onto like planks and begin picking their way to shore.
Nice.
But many of them are still on the ship trying to like deal with the dinghy and unrope it and get the sick to safety. What are you doing?
Alright. I'm going away from the land?
No, you're
This is
going
really
towards the land.
Well, I'm going towards the... Okay, this is going
Yeah,
great
you're-
then.
you're
So I
not-
will continue to play my flute, but I will also give a bardic inspiration to a random NPC who can't use it, but
What's the bardic
feel-
inspiration do?
bardic inspiration is just I can choose someone within 60 feet and give them an inspiration die as long as they can hear them. And then they can roll an additional d6 with whatever check they want for the next
Okay.
10 minutes. They get
Cool.
one die that they can add.
Oh, see. Okay.
So it's useful for players, but NPCs aren't going to use it. Anyway, can I roll another performance check?
Go for it.
Awesome. Oh, disappointing. I only got a 17 that time.
So yeah, you're continuing to play. You're running out of composure a little bit as the water's beginning to like lick up on the ship more and more, and the waves are crashing higher and higher as the ship gets deeper and deeper underwater. It's basically being pulled along by its sail at this point, but the majority of the ship is now underwater. And the farther it goes, more people just kind of like bail on the ship, rip off a little plank, and kind of start swimming away. These sailors manage to dislodge the dinghy and like unwrap it from the ropes, and they like get into the little boat with most of the people who are sick, and they begin rowing away from the boat to make sure that it doesn't get pulled down by the ship. But most people have abandoned ship at this point. Are you continuing to stand on it?
Yeah. The band plays on, EJ.
Okay, so you just sit there, continuing to play as the ship just basically like drops down below you, and once the water gets up to your knees, do you do anything differently? The ship is beginning to tilt, and like the front end is going way down more than the rest. What?
Wait. Trying to think, how far do you think the Titanic band went? I think they went all the way to the ocean bottom, right? I think the band shall play on.
Are you trying to get a new character already?
No, I love this character.
Okay.
But like, you're the one that put me on a sinking boat. Like, I'm just dedicated.
I feel like this is not going at all how I planned, and I'm trying so hard to focus on not saying that I'm not describing anything well enough, I feel like. But it's fine.
Fine, I'll jump off the boat.
You don't have
Swim
to.
away.
You can
No,
stay on the boat.
It's fine.
Do what you
it's
want.
fine.
Okay. I would say that the boat, like, when it finally begins to, like, completely submerge and, like, the sails get pulled down underwater as well, it is probably only about 600 feet away from the shore. So you are...
Awesome. Because
Yeah.
I have negative strength modifiers, so I was just using it to get as close as possible.
You're just, like, riding it, and, like, you know that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow, like, sails his ship until, like, it's completely sunk and he just hops off the top of the mast onto the dock? That's basically what you did.
That scene without thinking about the guy with the stack of 12 rafts that goes down the rapids, like that vine where
What?
it cuts
Oh
from
my
the.
god.
That's got to be the greatest pirate I've ever seen. And it cuts to the guy on like 12 rafts. It's so great.
I don't remember that. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, so
Awesome,
you are
awesome.
now in the water. Are you treading water or something? Or still playing
well,
the flute or
I'm
what?
trying to swim.
Okay.
I'll keep my flute in my mouth as a snorkel.
With all the holes in it, I'm sure that would work well.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so roll me, I guess, a strength roll to see if you can swim
It's,
your way to shore.
Athletics, right? Because it's swimming.
Yeah.
Cool. I have a negative modifier.
Oh boy!
Awesome. I rolled a 9. Good.
Okay, I'll say that you make it about just under halfway there, and you start to struggle. You're like beginning to like inhale
Sick.
water in
It's
your
farther than I thought.
snorkel, and so you're about 300 feet away from shore, and you're kind of like trying to breathe through a snorkel that's filled with water, and kind of struggling a little bit. You're very tired as you're trying
Oh,
to
my
tread
snorkel
water.
is filled with water.
Oh no!
Whatever shall I do?
I don't know. What would you like to do? Meanwhile, Bob is just kind of walking along the rock outcropping. It's a bit difficult to navigate. Roll me a dex check to see if you can make it across these bit slimy rocks. They're like coated in a thin layer of algae, but they are still traversable as you're walking towards the rest of the land. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Bob, can you roll me a dex check? Dex check. Bob? Caleb? Is he here? Did he die?
Allegedly.
Cactus says, I'm watching from a party bus. You are live to a bus of 30 people. What? Oh my. Are they all watching, or are you just watching it on your own, and the 30 people are just around? Because if there are 30 people here...
Oh,
Hi.
someone left.
Maybe he was talking, we just couldn't hear him. I don't know. He said he was having technical
His
difficulties.
internet is-
Okay, well let's just do Hawk for now. Hawk, roll me a strength save.
Oh boy. Wait. Well, actually, I have advantage on, or not advantage. I have proficiency in strength save, so it's only a plus
Oh.
0.
Cactus says they don't want to watch you, so I'll take you off the TV now. Okay, bye people. Thanks for saying hi.
Wow.
We're not liked.
Ungrateful.
That is a 14.
Okay.
Be right
I need a save. The outcropping of rocks is to your right, and it's a little bit closer than the shore. Would you like to try to go for that instead? Or
No.
would you like? Okay.
Go big or we go home.
Okay, so you got a 14 this time.
Yes.
All right.
I'll drop my
say,
flute if I have to.
I'll say you managed to get there barely. You're swimming and you're like really struggling, but you do manage to pull yourself onto shore with the last bit of strength you have, and you like kind of collapse on the sandy beach with your
It
flute
was all thanks
still
to
in
the
hand.
snorkel.
Yes. Hey Caleb, welcome back. Are you able to speak? Could you do a dex check to see if you can make it across the slimy rocks?
I rolled a 6.
Oh, okay. You immediately, as you've been trying to walk, you just like slip off the rocks and you're kind of like treading water again, and you can just kind of like use your hands to pull yourself along the rocks, but standing on them becomes too difficult for you and you just give the heck up. But you eventually reach the shore as well. You pull yourself onto the beach, somewhat near where your fellow halfling has washed up, but you're closer to the rock outcroppings and like the giant mountain range that continues on ahead of you towards the big mountain that sticks up out of the center of the island, and Hawk is off to your left. Or Barry. What was his name? Barry, I think. Oh,
Barry Broadwind.
Barry Broadwind. I can never remember new character names. So what would you like to do? Or should we switch over to the other group, now that you guys have successfully shipwrecked?
Can I do a performance check?
Give it the switching.
Okay, let's just see what Hawk wanted to do first, and then we'll switch to the other group. Unfortunately, Ray went
Performance
AFK at just the
check.
wrong time.
Yes.
Alright. So as you're laying there with like all your strength depleted on the sand, you kind of like reach over to your flute again. What are you gonna do?
I'm putting the flute in my bag
Okay.
and instead taking out my miniature bongos.
Why do you have those?
What? Yes, I have 3 instruments. I spent all of my starting gold on them. Alright.
I like this guy better than your other character so far, Hawk.
A 22 on the miniature
Nice.
bongos.
Okay, who are you playing for? Or are you just playing for yourself?
The people swimming.
Okay. So there are still people like swimming and like arriving on the shore with their planks of wood and like panting heavily as they've swum for so far. And as they wash up on the shore, they're listening to the lovely beach music that you're playing for them, Hawk, with your ba 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 ba. Is that the Mario theme? That's not bongos at all.
That is
There's
bongos. There are
bongos when you
bongos in
ride on
that.
Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are bongos when you ride on Yoshi. Dynamic music, am I right?
Yeah, but there's also like a lot of other instruments. Okay, you can't play that on.
I'm
a
just
bong.
that good.
Okay, yeah, you're.
What can I say?
Sure.
He's holding the flute in his mouth.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
who knows
I'm
how
playing the
he's gonna play
cymbals with the flute.
Well, anyway, so it's time to switch over to the other group. However, Ray went AFK at the wrong time. So let's just give Bob one
It's
more
okay, I'll
chance
play
to do
Ray's
something.
character too.
Bob, what would you like to do? Would you like to walk over to the rest of the group, or what? Actually, both of you roll me perception one more time.
Oh. Actually, I have a good perception level, but it's not what I'm supposed to be doing. 19.
19.
2.
Oh my gosh. Alright. Man, that negative 4 is really not treating you well.
Nope.
So, you really don't notice anything. You just kind of make it to the land and immediately just collapse on your hands and knees, and you're like, oh, thank goodness I can see the ground again. Meanwhile, Hawk, you kind of turn around as you're playing your instruments, and you notice a giant swarm of orcs, all geared out in like heavy armor and shields and swords and stuff. They're kind of eyeing you suspiciously and like kind of advancing with battle formation. They don't appear to be like charging and about to attack, but they're definitely coming to check out what's going on over here. What would you like to do?
Awesome.
Oh no.
Alright. Let's make some friends. I'd like to greet them. I speak Orcish, by the way.
Okay.
I speak
Sure.
common halfling and Orcish, because my backstory is that I hunted kobolds in orc colonies. So,
Okay.
yeah. Good times. Anyway. In Orcish. Hello! How are you doing? Would you like to sit for a spell and listen to some wonderful bongos?
Okay. As they approach closer, they hear you saying this, and they're like, who are you? What are you doing here?
I am a traveling bongoman, and also I play the flute, and also I kill kobolds. I do a lot of things.
They kind of look around, and they see that there are quite a lot of races represented in the number of people who have just kind of been shipwrecked here. They see
Yes, I see
you.
you've taken in my audience.
Yeah, they see many halfling, or like they see a couple halflings. They see several humans. They see a couple tieflings and other races as well. So they kind of just see like a bunch of creatures and people, and they see the dinghy kind of like rowboating their way to the shore, and they kind of the people in the rowboat kind of stop about 100 feet away from shore, and they're kind of like watching the orc army like, what's this? Should we like turn tail and run? The orcs are kind of like looking around like, what the devil is all this? And they're like, Did you all shipwreck just now? Where are you from?
I am from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
It's a wonderful land.
Ah, so you're outlanders.
Yes.
Well, I can see that, but however, we're on our way to destroy a bunch of humans, so we're definitely
Please,
not...
no. Sit for a spell and listen to my bongos, and then go. It will inspire you to fight better.
They just kind of look at each other and they're like confused. Among their ranks, you also see a tiefling who has red skin and is just kind of sitting there looking edgy and is like wondering what's going on. It is not Edgy Edward though.
Oh. I was gonna say I don't remember participating in this. I didn't find any bongo playing halfling when I was venturing.
And he's among the orc army. I should have specified because there are other tieflings around. But
nice.
They were on the ship.
So no, I'm just gonna like motion and then go back to playing my bongos. Do a performance check.
Yes.
Awesome.
What are you
Make
trying
so
to
many
accomplish? Okay.
Oh,
He plays so bad that he makes them all angry.
that was actually only a 12, unfortunately. But,
Okay. They just kind of look at each other and they're like, "Why are you so cheerful to have crash landed on this place? Gather around all these people," and the orcs kind of like start organizing themselves and trying to like point spears at the people who are washing up and like trying to corral them into the area where Bob was standing.
Look, man, I'm just always looking to learn new things, right? And if you really don't like the bongos, I can show you some of the other things I've learned over the years. I don't know. Do you do trial by combat?
Look, this is a really bad time for this. I know you're trying to make friends and all this, but we're on our way to fight, and this is not helpful. We just want to get rid of you people, or at least send you back to where you came from. Is your boat in any way salvageable?
No. But I got away with my flute. So really...
Who's the real winner here?
Yeah. Like, it ended pretty well for me.
Okay. Well, we'll deal with this situation later. Now that Ray's back...
Wait. All right. How much would I need? How much would I need to roll in order for the Doomslayer to come in and kill all of the orcs?
What?
How much?
You want the Doom guy from Doom
to come in and kill all orcs? I showed you the character I made.
Oh, you're right. You did show me that character.
How much would I need to roll?
80.
What? Okay. If you roll above a 17, sure, the Doomslayer can be one of the people who are on the shipwreck.
But he can't kill all the orcs.
Well, we'll see. Well, he has to put in the effort if he wants to do that. But Jack can join this party as well as the other party. I don't know.
All right, which modifier should it be?
No modifier. Just roll a d20, and if you get above a 17, then
18.
Really?
You should have made it
just
that
saying
20.
that.
No, I'm dead serious. I can show you.
Why did I agree to this? Why did I? Okay. So, Jack, you're now in two places at once. We were going to switch over to the other group, but now I guess you're here too. Let's switch over to the other group first, and then we'll deal with the Doomslayer doing whatever the Doomslayer wants to do. So, switching over to Lampario, Guy Dude, and Jebby, who are talking to a group of humans who don't seem to be doing too well. They're setting up a little camp, or they have set up a little camp next to a large lava flow. There are charred trees all around because you're next to this large lava flow. You are basically right near the foot of the giant mountain in the center of the island, which is still spewing lava both out of the top and the sides. Or actually, it's not spewing lava so much from the top anymore. It's kind of cooled down a little bit, and now it's just like a gentle lava flow, like from Hawaii, that is just leaking a steady stream of lava from both sides of the mountain, where there used to be like entrances to the interior of the mountain. You hear, as Hawk was demonstrating, like the faint like tunes of a flute far, far away, which you really shouldn't be able to hear, but why not? And you were talking to the goblin who is the keeper of the earth, the keeper of the mountain of Veridad. He is sitting there. He doesn't look very happy, and he's been clutching a box. He was known as the voodoo witch doctor shaman guy of this mountain, and now he seems distraught that his mountain home has been engulfed in flames and lava.
You should be happy. There's a flute.
Yeah, so he seems like he's pretty sad, and Ray, or Jeb, Guy Dude, and Glampario, you guys reached him yesterday, or actually, you know, let's just back up and redo that part of the conversation. I think only Ray was here last session. I don't know, but we left off basically with Ray saying, asking the goblin what was going on and like talking to him a little bit, and the goblin was telling them about the gates of Veritas, which are inside the mountain of Veridad. So it's big golden doors inside the mountain and all that. And then
the key.
Then Jeb asked, do you want to repeat what you said, Jeb last time? Just rewind time a little bit.
I don't remember why I asked last
okay.
time.
You said, "Oh, Guy Dude, do you still have that golden key?" or something like that.
Oh, right, yeah. Hey, Guy Dude, do you still have that golden key?
That didn't sound scripted at all.
I mean, that's what he said last time. I was just repeating what he said last time. What'd you say, Guy Dude?
Said I do. In fact.
Okay.
Would you mind showing it to the witch doctor?
Okay. Show it to the witch doctor.
Okay. As you pull it out, this goblin kind of looks up at it, and he goes, his eyes widen, and he goes, "What? Where did you get that? What?" And he just seems like shocked, and he kind of like lets go of the box that he's been cradling this whole time, and he stands up and he's like, "Give that to me."
The keepers of the earth gave it to us to do something with, but we don't know what it's for.
I think I know what that's for. And he like kind of leans down towards his little chest that he's gotten. It seems to be made out of obsidian, and he kind of like opens up the top of it, revealing inside that he's got some treasured possessions of his. He's got several books, spell books and the like, and a couple other valued possessions of his. Some of them look like family mementos, while others look more like magical artifacts of some kind. He pulls out a particular book. It's very big, bound with leather, but it doesn't really look like leather. It looks like leather that's been treated or enchanted in some way, so it's almost like shiny orange stone of some kind, and it's got a large skull insignia on the front of it, and on the spine of it you can see that there's a large lock made of gold, and it seems to be holding the book closed, and it doesn't seem like it can be ripped off very easily.
And what is this book you pulled out?
This is the heirloom of my family, the heirloom of the keeper of the mountain. I should not give you this book, but I would love it for you to give me the key.
I look over to Guy
Give us the
Dude.
book.
Is that what you're gonna say, Glampario?
Yes.
Okay. I shouldn't. I've wanted to know what's in this book for a long time.
We're just gonna open it right here. We're not gonna
that sounds
take it.
trustworthy.
I'm
Wait,
not.
what
I'm not
did
in the
you
mood
say?
to walk anymore.
Wait, what did you say, Glampario? I didn't hear it because other people were talking.
We're just gonna open it right here. I'm not in the mood to walk anymore.
These secrets contained in this book are meant to be the inheritance of only the keeper of the earth of the mountain. But I suppose I can't really retreat to my mountain anymore. These are strange times.
You're telling
And
me?
also, the keepers of the earth gave us the key, so I suspect they expect us to open it.
Yes, I'm very surprised that they even had the key. My father had it before he passed, or disappeared, rather.
Oh.
Roll me
that's
persuasion.
good,
See
huh?
if you can convince him to open the book in your presence or not.
I'm rolling intimidation.
Oh, you can do that if you want to pull out a weapon or anything, or if you just want to just
Should
look.
I wait
intimidating.
till he intimidates?
Okay,
Well,
okay.
you can
Total
roll
nine-
persuasion
total
and then
19. I'm screaming.
you're just gonna
Total
scream at him.
19. Total 19.
Okay.
Oh, well, might as well do intimidation.
What
then
what
I
exactly
got-
do you scream, or do you just start
Got a
screaming?
19 for persuasion.
I'm just gonna start screaming.
So you guys are trying to nicely persuade him. Meanwhile, Glampario just goes, "Ah!" And then the goblin goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And he's like kind of backing off and like almost falling into the lava stream behind him. And he's like, "What? I'm okay, okay." And he kind of like just drops the book on the ground and is backing off like, "Holy, why is this turtle about to kill me?"
Lampario, you didn't need to do that.
It ain't stupid if it works.
All right.
Wow.
So the goblin has dropped this heavy book on the ground, and basically in the middle of all of you. What would you guys like to do?
I give the key back to.
I don't think he gave it to you, but sure.
Oh.
I think I still have it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I
I'm
think I
motion
give
guy,
it-
dude.
So the
walk
goblin is
over-
just kind of spooked, and he's like standing about 10 feet away, closer to the lava than you guys are, and he's just like looking like a deer in headlights.
Okay, that's
They go-
asking for trouble. Him being close to the lava.
Oh no! Oh
I'm
no!
gonna,
The prophecy, Ray. The prophecy.
You might want to increase guy dude's volume.
I already have as much as I can. I can't really hear him anymore though.
a little better.
Yeah.
Is that a little better?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm going to walk up to the book slowly and pick it up and hand it back to the guy.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna like walk up to the goblin again and give it back to him?
Yeah.
Okay. He goes, thank you. Your friend seems about to murder me though. But I suppose I can open it in your presence if you want. I can't
You fell
refuse.
for it.
What'd you say?
You fell for it.
Hey, I resent that. But very well. Give me the key. I've wanted to know what's in this book for a long, long time. And the
I'd
other
like
humans.
to peek over the goblin's shoulder now.
Okay, well, if you want to peek over his shoulder, you'd have to go behind him, closer to the lava. So
Yeah,
just
I'd be
throwing that
9
out
feet
there.
from the lava.
Okay, sure. The other humans who were in the area kind of are like taking note of the chaos, and they're like kind of coming over to take a look as well. So the goblin reaches out his hand and like expectantly for the key, and he's holding the book in one hand and holding out his hand for the key as well.
How about I put the key in the lock?
Okay, you just ignore his hand held out, and you just kind of like
I'll
put the
say
key in
that
the
to
lock
him.
instead.
I'd say, how about I put the key in the lock for him?
Okay, and he accepts it and allows you to turn the key in the lock. The lock immediately begins to shimmer with a golden light, and just like the lock and the key both disintegrate into like shiny mist, basically like little golden sand that kind of fades into the wind and disappears
book
entirely.
disintegrates too.
What'd you say?
The book disintegrates too.
Just the book disappears. It was all for nothing. So the book becomes openable, and the goblin opens it like as though he's cherishing a relic, and like kind of almost nervous to see what's inside. His hands are shaking, and he's like, "This is what I've been waiting for my whole life." And inside, it looks like there's just a bunch of scribbles. Each page is made from like parchment or old paper of some kind, and seems to be covered in just like chicken scratch scribbles, little weird doodles on the sides. Occasionally there's like one word on each page-ish, and there's just like one word that you can actually read, but then there's like just chaos on scribbles on all the rest of it, as though someone kind of ruined it completely before they...
Can I investigate the scribbles?
Yes, well,
See if I can.
investigate
read it.
as in... Here, roll me just an intelligence roll, I guess.
Alright.
What would you do for this, Huck?
What?
I'm not-
For investigation? Investigation is a skill.
Well, Investigation. Okay. Investigation is
If he's
for, like,
trying to
piecing together
read
what
something that's been covered over, it's perception. If he's trying to tell what happened, it's investigation.
It's a bunch of scribbles.
Do intelligence, Ray.
Well, yeah, but the question is, are you trying to read them, or are you trying to figure out why they've been scribbled over?
I'm trying to read them.
Then it's perception.
All right.
Okay. Roll me perception then, I guess.
21.
Okay. You can see very clearly that whatever was under the scribbles, there really wasn't that much of detail there. It seems like the only words that really are there are just the words that you could see that aren't covered up, and the rest of it just seems to be there to fill the page. Like the scribbles and nonsense is just there to make it look like there was something that was covered up, but there really isn't anything that's covered up.
Wait, you said there's one word per page.
Yeah, the goblin is kind of like paging through, and he's like, What is this?
May I take a look at this book closer, Mr. Goblin?
I suppose. Don't ruin it any more than it already is.
I take it gently, and
Okay.
I would like to look at each word that's on each page.
Okay, so you mean like read one word and then flip the page and read the next word and like read it
Yeah.
in sequence like that?
Yeah, see if there's anything that makes about that there.
Okay. So as you begin flipping through the pages, you piece together what seems to be a coherent sentence or series of sentences. Would you like to read it one word at a time and then one word at a time, or would you like to kind of like copy it all down and then read it all at once?
I'd like to copy it all down on a piece of paper. Hey, guy dude, do you have a piece of paper and charcoal?
Maybe.
He should, because he's a paladin and he's got like a spell book and stuff, so why not? Just say he does.
I do.
Well, I mean,
Well, what kind of bag do you have? You got a bag in your story equipment. What kind of bag did you get?
I got a pouch and a priest pack.
Yeah, priest pack has parchment and quill.
okay, cool.
I would like to borrow that real quick, guy dude. May I?
Gompario, what are you doing in all this? The goblin is still a little on edge because of you. Are you going to be like uncomfortably close, kind of looking on as well, or are you just going to be like to the side, or what?
I don't know.
You're just
I don't
there.
know how to feel in this scenario.
He's just gonna be sitting on them, you know.
You're just waiting for an opportunity to like eat the goblin into the lava.
Just really wants to yell. Yeah. You could join my band.
It's going to be
Yeah.
We could be a screamo band.
Black metal band.
Okay, so you are copying the words one by one until you got a full sequence? Alright, so once you've finished flipping through all the pages and writing down all the words, would you like to read what you've copied down? The goblin is kind of looking on like, oh, I see what you're doing with this.
Yeah, I'd like to read it out loud for everyone.
Alright, it says, "The Book of Secrets tells no lies, but in its pages is truth disguised. To truly know what stories told, away from day this book must hold. In the soft light of a lesser sun, atop the spine of the Holy One, only one day of the month will show what secrets kept in enchanting glow. You must climb high, embrace the sky, when the wolves emerge and tides most diverge. Only then will secrets seen, and you will know in the lightness gleam." Or in the
Could you
lightless
say that
gleam.
again?
I will
Mine's
send it
some
in the chat.
I already solved it. So you guys
Yeah,
got this.
solve it.
Someone's solving it.
Well, the only
Did I give too much detail?
Top
Yes,
of the
you did.
volcano.
Okay. Yep.
Clearly top of the volcano at night. One day, probably like a full moon, because wolves.
Well, yeah, you're right. Well, I'm not gonna. Yeah, all right.
It's no. It's very obviously full moon as soon as he says lesser sun one day in the month.
Yeah.
Like,
Very true.
yeah.
Okay.
Like even before he got to tides and
Yeah.
wolves.
I was hoping that you guys would actually be able to hear what I was saying, though, because I was trying to go too, or I was kind of going too fast.
That
I'm
was
glad you
pretty
caught that.
darn clever, though. I will admit.
Thanks.
Yeah, it sounded nice.
Yeah, I thought you weren't even here for half of it. Didn't you like leave and come back? I forgot. Oh well. Anyway, so
Well, Jeb Jebby only caught part of it and only
Yeah.
figured out part of it. He's
Why don't-
like,
why don't you do
aha!
it?
The top of the mountain!
All right.
But obviously, he doesn't understand the rest of it.
Okay, so Glompario and Guy Dude, it's up to you guys if you guys think your characters would figure it out and all that kind of stuff. Or you can roll intelligence if you're not sure. Because ultimately, even if we understand it, it's up to them, the characters, if they want to understand it too.
If you'd like to roleplay it by stat line, if you have above a...
I'll just have Glompario guess it.
Just like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that means. Using your gamer intuition again.
What's Glompario's intelligence check?
It's like a 4, I think.
Yeah, -4 modifier.
Oh, so it's a 2? Wait, what is your actual score?
-4 mod is defined as cognitively defunct, if I remember correctly.
Okay, Glompario's broken the rules of existence. I think he can manage this.
I mean,
I believe in him.
This is true. He used his gamer instinct to like suddenly know where to go across the island at one point. So I'm okay with him managing to figure this out magically, unless Guy Dude wants to figure it out instead, because that would make more sense.
I like to think Glompario is just from an alternate reality.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just gonna warp into Doomslayer all of a sudden. So just put on the armor. Hey, Beagle Dragon. What'd you say, Guy Dude?
Said I'll roll intelligence then.
Okay, go for it.
Right. If it fails, then I want.
What'd you get?
Bind.
You got bind? What does that mean?
5, I think.
Oh, 5. Okay. Yeah, that ain't enough. You have no idea. And you're like, I mean, I guess you might be right? Jebby! Top of the mountain, sounds good. And Glompario's just like, I know what it is!
19, 15? Would that be good?
I mean, yeah, sure. We've already established that you're just gonna break the laws anyway and just do what you want, so whatever. So say what you think, Glompario.
Alright, top of the mountain, full moon. Read that. Yeah, read that on the top of the mountain when it's a full moon at night.
And the goblin's just like, what the? And here, let me just see what he just crit failed his intelligence check on him trying to figure out the riddle, so he's like, wow, that's really smart! I'm glad I have you guys with me! So, the goblin agrees with your plan to try reading the book on the top of the mountain at the full moon, which just so happens to be tomorrow. I actually wrote this riddle after establishing that it was approaching the full moon, so that's not even cheesy. What?
Can I take advantage of this full moon? Can I take advantage of his crit fail and tell him he's supposed to go in the lava?
Yeah, you have to sacrifice yourself. It's an important part.
You can try rolling persuasion, and he'll try to roll insight on it. I guess I can give him disadvantage on his insight because of the intelligence fail. Why not? I don't know. I'm giving you too much. I'm already giving you a second character.
The book is actually all about summoning Cthulhu. It was actually a Tyrannosaurus Rex back in the good old days.
So what'd you roll, Jack?
Over to Hawk's place.
He's buried under the volcano.
What'd you roll for your persuasion, Jack?
Not 20.
Oh my god! How the?
Jeez.
This dice roller loves me.
Well, EJ, if you roll a 20, the thing goes towards you because you're the dungeon master.
Huck, you know that quote you said about the mating call of a natural 20 is stupidity? Yep, that's... Yeah, I should never allow you guys to do anything. Alright, so, Jack just basically tells this goblin, hey, you should jump in the lava, that'll help. And he goes, oh, okay. And he kind of like walks right up to the lava, like right on the edge of the lava river, and he just kind of is looking at it. He's like, I'm a little scared to actually do it myself, though.
Okay, I'm hoping somebody else kicks him.
What are you doing?
Edge, because I'm assuming we're gonna need him later.
Can I investigate to make sure he's not lying about it?
Who's not lying about what?
Glompario telling the other guy.
Are you not sure?
No, my guy's not sure.
Roll investigation. I mean, yeah, that's true. You didn't know the riddle, but Glompario was like, "Oh, I know exactly what to do." So
You mean
yeah,
insight? You should have him roll insight, EJ.
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought. What
You
did I
said
say?
investigation.
Oh, oops, wrong one.
Insight. 15.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to tell that Glompario's just kind of having some fun.
Do I really? Because he rolled a nat 20.
Well, I mean that.
Persuasion for the
That was,
goblin.
but
that
the
was
nat 20 only
persuasion for
applies
him.
specifically to the person he's convincing. Yours goes off of his passive, which is 10 plus his intelligence modifier,
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm able
which
to
I
tell.
doubt is above an 18.
So Guy Dude said he wanted to grab the goblin and stop him from doing this, right?
I did say that.
Okay,
Because
so
I'm assuming we're
I mean, I'm not going to say that one way or another. I honestly, I don't care if you throw him in. That's fine. It fulfills a prophecy that Ray made earlier, so it's whatever. But if you would like to stop him, if you think your character would stop him, then go for it. Roll me a strength contest versus you and this guy, or this little goblin.
strength is good. I was like, 12.
12? Okay, yeah, you managed to grab this goblin and, like, pull him away from the edge, and you're like, "What are you doing, sir?" Jack, would you like to continue trying to force him to get into lava? 'Cause
I'd just be laughing.
he almost made
I'm just over here, like, shaking my head.
The other humans just seem like they're confused as to what's happening, and they're really not sure what's going on. Let's switch over to the other group for now. So,
Good.
there are orcs, and they're like kind of corralling all the survivors of the shipwreck into the area over, like, on the shore where the mountain range hits the sea, basically where the rock outcropping begins under the water. And they're kind of like forcing them to that corner and keeping a couple guards posted, and they're like, "Stay here, don't cause any trouble. We need to go do our thing. Just don't cause trouble." And the main force of the orcs tries to start leaving and stuff.
Wait, did you say they're leaving guards with us?
Yeah, they're leaving probably about 25 guards or something.
Okay.
Because, like, you have a whole crew of people, and
I'm gonna make so many friends.
oh boy.
Have I noticed that there are orcs yet?
Yeah. At this point, like, we fast forwarded time a little bit, so I mean, we can go back and
Okay.
not fast forward it if you want to actually do something in between that time. But the orcs were basically just
No,
like
that's fine.
not wanting to actually like straight up murder all these strangers. They're just like kind of corralling you guys so they don't have to deal with you for now. But you notice that they really don't treat the humans that well. In particular, they're okay with the other races, but when they see the humans, they just kind of like beat them a little bit, like nudge them with their spears, not too kindly, and like force them into an area, and they're like, "Stay there." So there's that, but they don't actually kill anyone. What would you guys like to do?
I'll let him go first.
Oh, also, Keep is one of the guards, so you can talk with him if you want. Keep is the red-skinned tiefling who's kind of left as one of the guards here.
Okay, and he speaks common.
Yeah, everyone speaks common.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I want to ask him if he has seen Mr. Brodo.
Keep the tiefling kind of turns to you and he goes, "Who's Mr. Brodo?" Or Brodo?
He's only the most wonderful halfling to ever live. You must have noticed him if you saw him.
I haven't seen any other halflings on this island besides you two.
It's because the other
Well, I
half
must-
was just too stealthy.
Yeah, very true.
Well, then can you please let me go? I would like to continue my search for him.
I mean, I don't care if you guys leave. And he kind of turns to the other orcs, and the other orcs are like, "No, our orders are to keep these people here until we get other orders. So let's just leave them here for now. He can go search for his friend at some other point."
I'm gonna like walk up and be like, "Does anyone want to see some trick shots?"
You want us to give you a weapon?
No, I have one. I'm gonna take out a longbow that I have on my back.
So you're a little halfling and you just like Mary Poppins this giant longbow out of your pack. And
Yeah, I'll put my bongos back in the sack. Just take out the
You got
longbow.
bongos in your pack and a longbow.
Aren't you too short for a longbow?
You know
The
what?
longbow would be taller
I'm
than him.
multi-talented.
He uses his longbow as a harp.
Oh, actually, I forgot. Jack has the Doomslayer. So the Doomslayer is one of these people too. Jack, you are one of the people in this group now. What would you like to do?
Okay. Right, so we've already established that I'm going to pop in and start shooting all these orcs.
You said you're here, but you can start killing orcs if you want to. Hawk also was trying to make friends with them. So what do you want?
My trick shots.
Oh, this is gonna go downhill, isn't it?
I'd like to vote to ban the Doomslayer for ruining my trick shots.
Okay, I'll wait until he's done.
Okay. So you're just kind of like accepting this. Do you have like the armor of the Doomslayer or something that looks
Yeah.
like it? Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you're just
And
like the
nobody has
Space
noticed
Marine.
somehow.
Yeah. Alright, so Hawk, do your trick shot thing. What are you trying to do?
Awesome. All right, so I'd like to walk up and be like, "You guys want to see some trick shots?" And I'm just gonna like pull this longbow out, you know, from my back. It's like as tall as I am. Fine.
Which way do you seem to be facing as you're pulling out this bow? Are you like aiming the bow
I'll
at them,
keep the
or-
bow pointed like towards the ground and
Mhm.
or no knocked arrow in it.
The three nearest
looking at
orcs
the
to you still kind of go, "Oh, hey, watch it there, buddy."
No, it's okay. I promise. I'm a performance artist. I'm a trained professional.
Oh no. Here, let me watch me as I shoot an arrow off the Doomslayer's head and then stab him.
Yeah. Do you have any
Okay.
apples? Like,
No, we do not have any apples.
that's fine. I'll use that tree over there. Is there a tree somewhere that I can point
Yeah,
at?
there's a dense.
Awesome. I point at a tree.
Okay. They kind of look.
I
and they're
will
like,
roll persuasion
Which
if I
tree?
have to.
Well,
That one.
They just kind of they're just letting you do. Wait, what do you say? And that one on your persuasion?
No, I said that one. You said
Oh,
which
okay.
tree, so I
Gotcha.
said that one.
Okay. So yeah, they're just kind of like, sure, show us your trick shots.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to take out an arrow. I would like to jump and do a 360 in the air and let loose the arrow towards the tree and attempt to hit the tree. One of my arrows.
Roll me a dex check.
With my natural 20. Thank you. Good night.
What was that roll for?
For shooting the arrow. I assumed you weren't going to let me just shoot it.
I was
so
gonna
did
say
it.
do a dex check and then a attack check, I guess.
Okay, well that'll be my dex roll.
What's
Okay,
the
so
attack check for?
Yeah, what am I? What armor class am I breaking? The tree?
I don't know what I'm just. I guess one dex to
Tree has an
do
armor
the-
class of 2.
Fine,
No,
yeah, okay, we'll just use the nat 20. So you just kind of
I
like
mean, I'll do
jump
another roll if you want.
in
Okay.
midair, you rotate 360 degrees, and then you loose the arrow before you even hit the ground. The arrow goes sailing through the air and hits the tree directly in like the center that you were aiming for. And the orcs kind of like all duck, and they're like, "Oh, whoa, you were trying to stab us in the head, weren't you? Oh, wow, you actually hit the target."
I'd like to turn around and do a little bow and say,
In the background, the Slayer's clapping.
"Would you like to
Yeah, a
see
couple
another
of the
one?"
orcs are like, "Yeah, nice job, Pipsqueak."
I can do that again if you'd like.
I'll be really impressed if you can split that arrow that you just shot.
Awesome. I want to do it. All right.
Okay, go
it's
for
another-
it.
This is like okay. Serious question here. Is this a dex check or an archery check? Because they're very different.
What is an archery check?
Well,
entail
it's like
exactly?
an attack roll. So I get bonuses to it.
Yeah, do an
So
archery
do I
check.
just get my dex bonuses or do I get the
Just
like-
do the archery check because it's archery.
awesome? All right. So 27.
Wow. Okay.
'Cause I
You
get
said
an
your character
additional
wasn't
+2 to the archery thing.
What'd you say, Jack?
You said your character wasn't broken, Hoff.
He's not. He's a performance artist. Actually,
A
wait.
broken performance artist.
26. My bad. I did the math wrong.
Okay, now he's good.
Okay, yeah,
There you
totally not broken anymore. Since it wasn't at 20, I was like, I don't know if I want to make it split, but since it's so high, sure. It's you send the arrow flying. Do you do any tricks or anything, or does it just sail through the air?
Yeah, I
again?
did another 360.
Okay.
It's very important. It's
Yeah,
part of my
okay.
routine.
So you do another 360.
This does a 180.
The
and
orcs
it's
don't flinch as badly this time. The arrow sails through the air and directly splits the other arrow in half, and they're like, "Whoa! Now that is impressive. We've got another Robin Hood here. What is this? Where'd you
Excuse
learn
me,
to do
my
all
name
this?"
is Barry Broadwind. Oh, I have a long career. Would you like to hear my stories?
I suppose I'd like to see you
Please
do
sit.
some more trick shots as well.
All right, we can continue with that. Please sit. We'll have story time. I'll play some ambient music.
The other
I'll warm
people
up
on
back
this
my
boat
notes.
who didn't know you that well are also like completely transfixed. They're like, "Whoa, what is this guy?"
I'd like to just like gather everyone up into like an audience where they're all like sitting on the ground facing me.
Okay,
Or
some
something.
of them are still like sick and kind of coughing and not doing too well, and they're like, "Please, we need some medical assistance," and like trying
It's
to
okay.
convince
It's good
the
for the
orcs.
spirits.
Okay. And the orcs are just like, "No, sorry, we got our orders," and so they're just kind of stuck there. And but you're certainly getting everyone's attention.
Awesome. Now that my bow is away, I'll go ahead and take out my lyre, which somehow I've kept in my inventory.
It's probably out of tune with all the salt water.
That's fine. Oh, nice. That's 18 plus 6, so 24 on the performance check. As I
Okay.
play my ambient music,
All
and I
right.
begin to tell my tale.
Oh, what is this tale that you're telling?
It's gonna be my backstory, of course.
Okay.
So, as a young boy, I was raised in a poor village, and all we had was a small wooden box that we kept our rations in. We had 2 rations per week for the whole family. It was me and my 6 brothers, and my father, and my mother, and my grandmother, and my uncle. And we would sit around on our dirt floor in our small shack, which had 1 bed.
Some
And,
orcs like just have tears running down their eyes as they're listening to this tale and being moved by the music.
I used to beat on the box for music, and somebody took notice of me. It was a traveling bard. He took me under his wing, and we went on adventures together where we played in many taverns, and eventually I surpassed him, and that's where I learned to play the variety of instruments that I play. And he died of old age, so I took his flute, and I continued on playing until I got to a larger city in Venezuela, and there I found a man that made string instruments who was also a ranger on the side, and so he taught me how to fire arrows as accurately as you saw there. And that's where I learned my trick shots. I also, while I was in that city, got into underground fighting rings, and it was there that I learned a series of martial arts that I still practice to this day, but have yet to perfect. And so I can't show them to you yet. But just you wait till I level up. And then...
Oh my.
One of these
And then
ridiculous characters.
I got on a boat, and I was sailing and playing my flute and my bongos, which I had special ordered. And on that boat, a holy man spoke to me, and he told me about his Lord and Savior. And occasionally, I still pray to that deity. But then another holy man came up to me and told me I should worship demons instead. So I'm still picking between those ones. You know, I haven't made up my mind quite yet.
Okay, now the Doomslayer is pissed.
Anyway, so then I ended up on another boat. That one crashed, but the band played on. And that's how I got here today.
I see. So, Doomslayer, now that you're angry, what would you like to do?
Okay.
Oh, smash!
If you don't know who the Doomslayer is, by the way, Doom is a game about
Where you
like,
kill demons.
and stuff. Yeah, and the Doomslayer is the protagonist or playable character. I don't know if he's a protagonist, but he's a
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's basically an unstoppable demon murderer, and he's crazy. And he has Space
Protagonist
Marine
means
armor.
main character. That's what it means.
Not.
I told you.
Yeah. Okay. I guess.
Canonically, he's the Slayer's the bad guy to the demons, so
Well,
they're all afraid of him.
no. So protagonist and hero are different words. Hero is the person with good morals. Protagonist is the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the protagonist is the one who's trying to get something done or accomplish something. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to be the main character. Like, it could be told from the perspective of someone else who's a side character watching the protagonist do their thing.
Well, yes, but if the story is told from a different perspective, the main character is still the person that's doing the most stuff.
I guess so. Sure, whatever.
Anyway, unimportant.
Semantics.
English
yeah.
vocabulary.
Alright, so what do you want to do, Doomslayer?
Okay.
I'm scared.
First of all, kill all the orcs because they threatened humans first.
The orcs are just like sitting around talking with these people, relaxing and watching trick shots and listening to music, and you just want to like start getting up and murdering them.
Mm-hmm. Once that's all done, I should hold my shotgun up to Hawk's head.
You have a shot.
Why do you have a
Wait,
shotgun?
we're gonna have to
It's in
roll
my
combat
inventory.
for this first. You can't just like say that happens.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm aware. That's my plan.
You also
Okay.
do not have a shotgun.
Yeah, the
I would
shotgun-
contest this.
You can say that you have like a crossbow or something instead.
No, shotgun.
Okay, you have a modified crossbow that looks like a shotgun, but functions like a crossbow.
Yeah, he has a stick called shotgun.
He's just delusional. He thinks he's got these cool weapons and armor, but it's really just like leaves on his head and stuff.
It's in the D&D wiki multiple times.
Shotguns are in the wiki?
Yes.
Okay, maybe for like some expansion pack though. I don't know.
I don't
Well-
care. I've already broken reality.
That is true.
Well, it's totally up to the DM.
It is up to the DM. It's his world. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
You also
I
just
don't-
quoted a Fallout campaign from a homebrew page as your reference.
Whatever.
I will allow it, but I will say that it's not actually like a real like gunpowder using bullet shooting thing, but it actually shoots like crossbows, but just like maybe you're really good with like paper mache and you've like decorated your
okay,
crossbow to
alright,
look like a shotgun. So it basically
Alright,
is a
fine, let's do
shotgun,
that.
but it's not.
Let's just do that.
Same with your armor. It's not actually Space Marine armor, but it looks like it.
Alright.
So
Just
what would you
wearing
like to do?
mache.
You are sitting kind of in the back towards the ocean, and the orcs are kind of in a semicircle around the whole group of survivors from the shipwreck. So there are basically a group of people between you and the orcs that you're trying to murder. What would you like to do as your first move? Most of them are sitting down. Keep is kind of edgily leaning against the rocks over to your right.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell. I kind of just want to run through all of them.
Go for it if you want to.
Alright.
What
should
would
I
you
roll
like to be
begin?
doing, Bob? We haven't heard from you in a while. Just sitting there. Okay, we'll get back to that. So you're gonna try to rush through them all, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Roll me dex, I guess, to like
Alright.
get up and then just like plow through the people as quickly as possible. Are you gonna be like drawing weapons as you do this, or are you just gonna be like pushing through and then draw their weapons so the orcs don't get?
Yeah, pushing through then drawing.
Okay.
Alright, so that's a total 19.
Okay, nice, very nice. So you like get up and just like start blasting your way through this crowd really quick. The orcs kind of like go, "Whoa, hey, whoa, what are you doing?"
Wait, do I get to roll initiative for this?
Sorry, what?
Do I get to roll initiative for this?
If he initiates combat, then yeah.
He's shooting people.
He's not yet. He hasn't. I guess he's drawing his weapons now. So, Jack, you draw your weapons, and the orcs immediately like kind of like pull out their weapons and begin to spring into action. Jack, you have surprise them. So, roll initiative, and you get to make the first move.
All right.
I didn't expect to be doing combat. I didn't expect you guys to actually be attacking these people. This is bad.
Not my fault.
Wait.
One.
Wait, do I still need to roll initiative or?
Yeah, everyone needs to roll initiative.
Ray, you're muted.
I said, yeah, it's not your fault just for once.
I'm playing a nice character.
Yeah,
It's just
honestly, the one time that Hawk does something normal, everyone else has to mess it up. Oh boy.
What do you mean the one time I do something normal?
Wait, in my character sheet says I have initiative of 3. Is that a modifier?
Yeah, that's a
plus.
modifier.
You roll it, yeah.
Okay. 17.
Ha! I beat him.
Oh.
Well, he still gets to go first because he's.
I
the
know
one,
he does
like,
because it's a
initiating
surprise.
everything.
But
Yeah.
I'm ahead of him.
Okay, yeah. When the order takes place or whatever. Well, that means you're gonna be the last one to make a move then. Hawk. Oh well.
No, because
For the
it's
first
surprise round and then it starts over.
Okay, gotcha. Oh boy. This is not going to go well because I am not prepared for combat.
Think of surprise round as it goes through the initiative order, but it skips anyone that doesn't have surprise.
Okay. Da-da, da-da-da.
So it's not like a separate list or like it starts at him and then goes down and then restarts at the beginning. It's more like you just cross out everyone that doesn't have surprise, run through the list once, and then put those people back in.
Mm-hmm. So what was your roll again? 17? Jack?
Mine? Oh, Jack.
Oh, 16.
16, okay. And yours was a 17, Mark? Or
19.
19, okay.
Because I have a +5 to initiative.
Okay. And go ahead and roll me yours as well, Bob. Unless...
Okay. Is this a 20?
Yeah, this is a d20, and then you add your initiative, whatever your initiative
Which is
modifier
like your dex modifier.
17.
17, alright. So you're gonna go before Doomslayer and after Hawk. Cool. So, Doomslayer, it's your turn. You have surprised, you've like kind of pushed your way through this giant crowd, drawn your weapons, and you're just kind of, what exactly are your weapons? You have like a crossbow, I assume.
Okay, so I have the
shotgun?
crossbow shotgun,
Okay.
a longsword, a javelin, and unarmed strike.
How do you have 4 hands? What? You don't have 4 hands. What do you want to be drawing?
All right, you want me to throw
It's
away the
easy.
javelin?
You don't have to
Oh,
throw it
like,
away.
in
I'm
my
just saying, like, you can only
Yeah,
like have 2
my crossbow's
hands.
pulled out right now.
Okay, so you've pulled out the crossbow.
I just have all those weapons in my inventory, I
Okay,
guess.
so which one do you want to have in your other hand if you're gonna like?
Other hand.
If it's not a hand crossbow, he can't use another thing.
Okay, so you're just gonna have your shotgun pull it out, basically.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there are orcs kind of like leaning away from you, drawing their weapons on both sides of you. There are about 25 orcs, as I said, or maybe 24, because Keep was one of the people in that guard, and he is edgily leaning against the wall, not really participating in the combat. So, these orcs are like kind of falling to both sides of you, and they're like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And what do you want to do? Which one do you want to go for?
The closest one there is.
All right, the closest one is on your left. He is kind of like trying to reach for his axe and not really sure what's going on. So you just kind of point your shotgun at his head from point blank range, and you pull your trigger. There's no way you can miss this, but roll me to hit anyway. Just because that's how D&D is. Actually, technically, wouldn't he have disadvantage, Hawk? Because, like, too close range, but whatever. We'll just say that it's point blank range, so you're very unlikely to miss.
12.
Okay. I'll say it hits anyway. It shouldn't, but I'll say it hits anyway. Roll me damage. Roll me damage.
Oh.
On the weapon.
Hold up. Okay, 1d8 plus 3, that's what it says here.
1d8 plus 3, okay.
9?
Okay. So yeah, you just shoot him like direct, or you miss his face, but you hit him like directly in the shoulder and like knock him backward onto his back, and he's just like in great pain. Shoulder has an arrow in it, and he's just like rolling around in agony. You do have a bonus action and your movement still, if you'd like to do something. Would you like to do anything with that?
Well, for starters, once I'm done, I could just like move backwards away from the other
Not if
orcs?
you're within 5 feet. He can attack you if you move.
Well, they are unsurprised though, so I wasn't going to give them.
It doesn't
an
matter.
opportunity
It's
to
an
attack.
opportunity attack.
Okay.
Just walk up, shoot, and run away, and walk back. Would that work?
If you get within 5 feet of them and then you move at all, they can opportunity attack you. Doesn't matter what you do.
What does his bonus action allow him to do? Is disengage a full action?
Yeah, it's a full action.
Mhm.
You can allow him to use it as a bonus action. It's just it by default is a full action.
Yeah, I
That
wasn't
is a
planning on
D&D
it.
thing. Or a DM thing, I should say.
So you're just kind of stuck with orcs surrounding you and humans behind you, so you can't really move that easily, but is that all you want to do?
I guess.
Alright, and now the order has started over, so now Hawk gets to go. Hawk, what would you like to do? Please tell me you can just like play an instrument and sedate Doom Guy so he doesn't cause a giant
I
battle.
have many ways to get rid of him. I'm playing a buff character, so like all my spells are basically buffs. Or nerfs.
Yes, but keep
One of
in
the-
mind, canonically, the Slayer can just respawn. So
Oh no! What if he just respawns
I
on
didn't say I was
different,
gonna
like
kill
on the
you.
mainland?
and he remembers every time he dies.
What's your intelligence score? This is
Intelligence score 12.
okay, fine. Okay, good. You don't have less than 4. So that's important. I'm gonna cast Hideous Laughter on him.
What's that do?
I'm going to get within 30 feet of him and cast Hideous Laughter.
You already
on
were.
him.
Everyone's within 30
I
feet
just,
right
you
now.
know, I wanted to clarify.
Okay.
So you need to make a Wisdom saving throw, Jack.
Wisdom save. That's a
I
plus
don't
0.
know
This
whether
better
I
be
want
good.
the Doom Guy to destroy all the orcs or if I want everyone to be peaceful. I really can't decide. Just okay.
What'd you get, Jack?
13.
Okay, you had to get a 14. So
Oof.
Oh.
you fall to the ground and find everything around you hilarious.
No,
You
my
are now
edginess.
prone. You are prone for a full minute. You are unable to make actions. You're incapacitated.
How? I'm a silent protagonist. How do I laugh?
You cannot stand up. Well, you're just incapacitated on the ground.
He just
You
looks
drop
like he's
whatever
having
you
a
were
heart attack.
holding. So you drop your shotgun. Yeah.
The one time
If
Hawk's broken
you-
character saves the day.
Every time you take damage, you can try and stop laughing by making another saving throw.
Alright.
But yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Orange, you better be on my luck.
You are muted, right?
So the Doomslayer just kind of like shoots this orc in the shoulder, knocks him backward, and then is about to like turn and begin shooting another orc when he just like seizes up and like starts looking like he's laughing his head off, but you can't really see his face because it's within his like paper mache helmet or whatever his helmet's made out of, and he just like looks like he's having a heart attack and he falls backward into the crowd of other people who are just kind of like, whoa, hey, and they like get knocked over by him
I'd like
landing
to
on them,
walk over him
and he's just
tell a
like
great
twitching
knock-knock
and
joke.
like flopping in this group of people. Meanwhile, the orcs who were being attacked immediately like all stand up and like point their weapons at him, and they're like, what just is he dead? Is he being possessed by a demon? What's happening? And there's just they don't attack him yet. What did you say, Hawk?
I'd like to walk up, and I'd like to start off by telling a great knock-knock joke. And then I would like to motion the orcs forward and ask them to bind him up with some rope or something.
Would you like to tell
Oh,
us?
let's hear the
knock
knock-knock joke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Knock-knock.
Oh, who's there?
And a little old lady
And a little lady who?
And a little old lady who?
All this time, I had no idea you could yodel.
Oh my gosh. He's just like, why are you trying to distract me from this crazy person?
No, that's the reason he's on the ground. My great knock knock joke.
In the little.
Right. Right, it's just like, that's the greatest knock knock joke I've ever.
It is, honestly. I've never seen anything better than that.
I'm not even mad. It's very good.
So yeah, and then I'll have them bind him up with some, because that won't trigger the saving throw.
Okay, so
I'm
Jack,
assuming
the
it would take
Doomslayer...
like around a minute. I'm assuming like a few seconds have passed.
Yeah, it's been a few seconds, and they hesitantly get close enough to you to start like tying you up. The people who like you fell into get out of the way and let the orcs just tie you up. It only takes the orcs a few, like maybe 30 seconds to tie you up though. So they manage to tie you up before the laughing stops, and then like about 15 seconds after you stop seizing up and looking like you're dying, silently laughing.
Okay.
What would you like to do now?
Alright. Wait, me?
Yeah.
I like watching Ray laugh silently because he's muted. He keeps forgetting.
Okay.
I do it on purpose.
Would I be able to break the ropes?
If you roll me a nat 20.
Okay, take a wild guess as to what just happened.
Please don't tell me you actually got it, because that's just incredibly coincidental. Did you actually get a nat 20?
Perhaps.
Did you actually get a nat 20 though?
Yes.
Fine. Okay. So is that the third one today, like from you, that has just been an incredible, terrible coincidence? Alright, so,
I think so.
That's ridiculous.
I am preempting this. I'm casting Charm Person on him.
No, it's too late. So as he's laying on the ground, he stops twitching and he just kind of sits there for a second brooding, and the orcs are still kind of looking at him like, what the heck got into him? Then suddenly, with a silent protagonist roar, he just like rips his ropes apart and like leaps to his feet and attempts to tackle the nearest orc.
Wait, actually,
Okay.
I now know what Hawk's capable of, so I should probably just probably run.
The Doomslayer runs? What is this?
He needs to get stronger to face this foe.
Yeah, this guy with his bongos, man. I mean,
Yep.
pretty spooky.
So you just like immediately pulverize and like disintegrate the ropes that were holding you, and you just start booking it, and all the orcs are like, what just after him, I guess. And about 3 or 4 orcs just start chasing you down as you try to run across the beach, trying to run away from these people without your weapons, because they took them from you.
Oh.
So I'd like to pick up the shotgun.
Oh no.
So I'll add that to my inventory.
Oh no. Okay.
Equipment.
Bob, what are you doing in all this? You're free to jump in at any time, honestly. This is just chilling, so. Just because I don't say specifically that you have an opportunity to do something doesn't mean you can't do something. Are you here, Bob? I can't hear you again.
He's muted.
Oh, he just muted himself. He wasn't muted a second ago. I hope he hasn't been saying things and then feeling like he's been ignored, because I haven't heard anything from him.
Neither have I.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't trying to ignore you if you did say things. Okay, so Hawk, you just pick up the weapons, and the orcs, the other orcs are just kind of like watching, like, what is wrong with that guy?
I don't want all the weapons. I'll just take. Well, what weapons did they take off of him?
They took his weapons and then just kind of put them in a pile. So you can take the shotgun only if you want.
What did he have? Wait,
he had the shotgun, the javelin, something else, and unarmed strike. But I don't think they could take his
see.
unarmed strike. So
he had a long sword. I'll take a long sword. I don't know how to use it, but I'll take it.
Okay. Wow. So you're just gonna like, here, let me just put that in my pack too, my never-ending.
Yeah,
pack.
my great
you can just
pack.
like swallow it instead, like giant
Yeah.
sword.
Orochimaru!
It's a neat trick. Longsword.
Well, Caleb says sorry. I don't know what he's sorry about. Maybe not being heard? I don't know. Or maybe he's not able to talk? Oh, his internet's dying. Oh no. He can barely understand what's going on. Oh no. That's
Can't
not good.
understand anything, yeah.
Well, that stinks. Everything is just freezing and stuff. Oh, it might be because of the cameras. Do we want to turn those off maybe? See if that helps at all?
Should we turn these off?
Yeah, try turning them off, see if that helps them at all. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll take the longsword and the shotgun.
Oh. He says probably not cameras. Apparently you can hear us though now. So...
That's cool.
Oh, he lives in Mississippi. Ah. Well, I mean, we have people here who are from all different states. Hawk's in Wisconsin, I think?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just think.
What do you mean you think, EJ? How many times do you have to
Because
ask?
whenever you said like you live in Wisconsin and you were driving like across the border to
Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah. Whenever you said that, it got me confused permanently because then I was like, oh, he lives in Minnesota with my great grandmother who's now dead. But then you don't, and I don't know. I just got confused, so I always have to think about it a little.
That was only like 2 weeks ago.
What?
It was like 2 weeks ago that I did that.
You didn't even tell me when you were doing that 2 weeks ago. I never knew that. Yeah, I'm talking about all the time, like.
Oh, you're talking about the other one. Well, that was to
know.
Michigan. Okay, that was different.
I don't even know. Anyway, I guess you guys can turn on the cameras again. I think. Yes. Okay. I think the internet's just dying for him. I'm sorry you can't understand us, Caleb. I guess we could try doing something else next time. I don't know, but it's too late to really do much technical sorting. I guess
it's better now.
Oh.
I can hear you all again.
Yeah. So basically,
you guys can keep going. Sorry.
It's no problem. Basically, what happened was Jack, the Doomslayer, just ran away like a pansy, and now Hawk's picking up his stuff. What would you like to be doing in all this?
Can I try to stop him?
I mean...
Or is it too late for that now?
I don't know if you would have even been close enough to try to grab him, but we can retcon it and, like, if you roll high enough, we'll say you can maybe do it. Roll me just a strength check.
Strength check? Okay.
Yeah, we can say that maybe you were happening to sit nearby him when he was tied up, and then when he leaped up, maybe you could have tried to grab him. And if not, we'll just say
9.
he's long gone. Yeah, he's long gone. He's running across the beach now. You didn't manage to grab him. And the orcs, or like 4 of the orcs, are just chasing after him like, hey, stop! What are you doing? And he's running west towards the orc side of the island. But you guys don't really know what sides of the island are. Meanwhile, Keep is just kind of watching all this and being like, you guys are idiots, shaking his head. What would you like to do, Hawk?
I'd like to start wandering in the other direction and playing my bongo as I go.
You're wandering away from the group?
Yeah, I just want to keep going that way.
Okay,
Eventually,
the orcs...
Hawk's gonna be the villain of this campaign. I'm calling it.
I don't know who's gonna be the villain, but I think Malik Alucard and Banana might have it covered. Speaking of which, Banana.
Yes, but he's dead.
Malik Alucard is dead, yes, but he did some choices that greatly impacted the campaign. Hawk, you begin to try to like walk away from the group and just like wander towards the mountain range, or like.
Yes, but playing my bongos, it's an important part.
And the and the orcs just kind of watch and they're like, hey, stop! Where are you going? And a couple of the orcs kind of like get in front of you to stop you from like leaving the rest of the group.
Going that way. I thought that was pretty clear.
Hey, we're trying to keep everyone in a group. We're following our orders.
Okay, dude, you saw my cool trick shots, right? Like,
I did see your cool trick shots.
I'm pretty legit.
Yeah, you need to keep everyone entertained here. I don't know.
Okay, well they can come with. I mean, that's fine.
Come
got places to be.
Well, where are you trying to go? You don't even know where you are. This is a fresh shipwreck, isn't it?
I've got places to be, man. Like,
I'm sure Bob has places to be. Bob, would you like to aid him in trying to convince the group to move?
Yes. Can I do a persuasion roll or something to do that?
Yeah, would you like to walk up and be like, oh please, I just need to find Mr. Brodo?
Can we both roll persuasion?
You make him sound so pansy.
Sure.
Oh, please!
How about we just have Hawk do the persuading because he was talking first, and then
Right,
he
got
has
advantage.
advantage because of
Nice.
yeah.
It's a good thing I had advantage. My first roll was a 3, but my second one was an 18, so it's fine.
Okay.
18 plus. Where's my persuasion modifier? I don't know this off the top of my head. Plus 4. 22.
22. Okay. So yeah, let me roll there. Okay, that's terrible.
Loud. My apologies.
No problem. So these orcs kind of look at each other and they're like, well, I guess our orders technically were just to keep watch on them and make sure they don't do anything crazy, not necessarily to keep them in this one spot. I guess we can move them around, but I guess a performer's not going to cause that much trouble, is he? Then again, that one dude caused a lot of trouble. What do you think? And they're just kind of talking amongst themselves, but they seem like they're willing to let you guys lead the group somewhere else, as long as they stay guarded. What would you guys like to do? Just keep walking, or playing bongos? Okay, yes, playing the bongos. So let's switch over to the perspective of the Doomslayer. What are you doing, Jack? Just running away.
Okay, first things first. I need a new shotgun.
Oh no!
Where would be
Okay.
the best place to find one?
There aren't shotguns in this world. Unless you go to the volcano and forge your own shotgun, there's not going to be a shotgun just lying around in this world.
Hmm.
Unless you find
Okay.
another time rift like the one you fell through, apparently.
Well, that was fun. I said we go to the other group.
Yep. All right. Let's.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I just want to see what
Maybe
Jack
the
was
Slayer will
doing.
meet up
Like
with them,
if
I
he
don't know.
wanted to get captured or if he wanted to continue running.
Maybe the Slayer will meet up with Glumporio, I don't know. Because the two do know each other.
They do.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, on his character sheet it says he's quite fond of Glumporio the turtle.
Wait, what? He sent his character sheet in this chat? I didn't even see it.
Yeah, like a month ago.
Oh, I forgot it. Okay. Well, I should have stored that. Oh well, I didn't expect him to be in this campaign. Well, whatever. So yeah, let's switch back over to the other campaign, or the other people. I forget
other
what
campaign,
we
pretty
left
much.
off with them doing.
It's pretty much a new campaign at this
I mean,
point.
basically, we have two groups doing two different things. So what are you guys doing? I forgot the last thing we left off. Just them saying that they were going to do the plan. Or actually, no, you were fighting, trying to throw or not throw the goblin into lava, and he's trying to throw himself into lava because Glumporio convinced him to. And Guy Dude is holding him back. So, what you guys gonna do?
I'm just going to tell the goblin that Glumporio was just joking about throwing himself in there. He doesn't need to.
Okay, roll me persuasion. So reconvince him to not be trying to kill himself.
I'm gonna be right back.
Nat 20.
Oh, okay, well, he goes, what? Oh, that's a mean joke. And he looks over at the laughing turtle. Glumporio's still just laughing. Alright, Mac, what are you doing?
I guess I can let go of the guy now.
Okay, the goblin kind of shakes himself off and he's like, well, I suppose we should go to the top of the mountain tonight? It's quite a hike up there, and it's already about 2 in the afternoon. We should probably head up there soon.
All right, let's go then.
Very well.
I agree. We should go up there.
Are you other humans coming with us? And they kind of go, I don't know. What is this book exactly? What is this quest you all are on? I mean, we kind of need to look after our crops that just got burned and divert the lava away from our families and all that.
By the way, why is there a trench coming from the volcano to the crops?
Remember your
I know.
plan.
I know as a person. I'm asking as the...
Oh, you're asking this in character?
Yes, I'm asking
okay.
this in character.
So, the goblin, or who are you directing this question to?
Just anyone in general.
Okay.
Digging.
So the humans kind of turn to you and they're like, this darn goblin told us that we needed to dig some trenches in order to please the gods or something like that. We were digging these trenches in attempts to build a city or help with something to please the gods, and then the mountain erupted for no reason. We had no warning, and just lava began pouring everywhere and drenched the entire land, and the lava began flowing down the trenches, and it was led directly towards our settlements, and it burned an entire village to the ground, and it got all of our crops on fire. So obviously it seems, they say, pointing or like looking suspiciously at the goblin, like it was intentional, but he claims it wasn't. And
I turned to the goblin. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
This is so sad. Guy dude, play Despacito. Okay, go on.
Guy dude, are you gonna play Despacito?
What?
That's his Despacito.
That's why you need bongos.
I turned to the goblin, and so why did you think this was a good idea, goblin?
I don't know. I was only trying to help. And he says, he just kind of buries his head in his hands.
You remind me of a friend of mine. His name was Male.
Male?
Mel? Who's this Mel?
He was like a bird thing. Very religious. Told everyone to do stuff in the name of the gods. I don't think it worked.
Oh, I know him. He was he was the reason I started this. The trench digging and stuff. He said that it was essential.
Wrong.
What?
So
Essential
he
for
was
what?
wrong then?
I don't know. He was
Essential for what?
He wasn't.
Peter!
What?
Peter!
I step back while he's yelling, Peter. What is this, Peter?
The
Is
goblin.
it a bread?
My dragon!
Is it a bread?
The goblin kind of is looking around and he's like, yes, where is your dragon?
I don't know. Last I saw, Male needed him. And now I haven't seen him in months, weeks, I don't know.
I think it's been a couple days, but that works.
I think it's been a couple days. I've been watching your perspective on YouTube, and
No. Just the last time he saw them together was a couple days ago, so he knows it's been only a couple days. So now what?
I don't know what's happening. So
do we want to just fast forward to like you guys walking over to the mountain and begin to scale the top of it? I guess.
Yeah. Let's fast forward.
All right, so you guys go over to the mountain. The humans kind of don't follow you, so it's just the goblin and you three. You all begin scaling the sheer rock face of this mountain. There was a path carved into the outside of it that would have allowed you to go up a lot more easily, but much of it has been kind of like coated in lava, and then hardened once the lava cooled down, because there's no longer lava pouring out of the top of the mountain. So the path that was there is a bit less manageable than it was before. There's still a path that is easier to climb than the rest of the mountain. However, it's not as pretty as it used to be. So you guys struggle a little bit to climb the mountain. Everyone roll me a dex check.
What check? Because
A
you
dex
cut
check.
out.
Cut out again.
A dex check. Not you guys. You guys are in a different group. Hawk and Bob.
16.
Okay, nice. You do not careen off the mountain. What'd you say?
Hold on, I need to remember what my modifier is.
Mm-hmm. Do you not have your character sheet?
Oh, 17. Oh,
Oh,
wait,
nice.
hold on. No, it was a nat 20.
Oh, wow. Not 20?
What? I had yeah.
Okay,
It was
cool.
a nat.
Minus 3.
Cool.
I have
And
negative 3.
Jack, what'd you get?
What was I supposed to roll?
Dexterity.
Dirty. 17, 18, 19, 20.
Nice. Okay, so none of you die. Good. So you all begin, or you climb up the mountain. It takes quite a while because this is a very tall mountain. And by the time evening rolls around, you have all made it up to the very top of this mountain. You are now able to see across the forest in every direction. You can see to the left of you, there is the orcs side of the island, and to the right of you, there is the humans side of the island. Both sides have a very long flow of lava emanating from the mountain and going out both sides all the way down to the sea. You can see the reddish, yellow, and orange glow of the lava as it cuts through the landscape, and it's causing much destruction in its path. You can see like a big black strip of the along the forest across the entire island where the lava has kind of scorched the terrain. On the human side, you can also see that the lava kind of flows into a lot of big trenches and is not entirely diverted, but a lot of the lava gets down in the trenches. So you can see a faint glow emanating from them from this distance, and you can see the overall shape of the island, like the long spire of rocks down behind you. You can see this the wall that the humans built on the very top of the spine of rocks, going all the way straight up and down ahead of you and behind you, and far down below you can see the end of the island up ahead. Everyone roll me intelligence, and I'll keep it for later.
Intelligence?
Yeah, just intelligence. Well, insight, I guess. I don't know.
Insight?
I don't know what to do. Insight.
What are they rolling for?
I can't say it.
It's wisdom. That's an insight wisdom thing.
Okay, so do intelligence then, I guess. Or, yeah, intelligence.
All right, 19.
Okay.
1.
Wow. How did you get a 19? You're stupid. What did you get? Oh, nat 1?
My modifier is a +1.
Oh, what? For your intelligence? I thought you were really stupid. Didn't we just establish
Wait,
this?
oh no, I have the Doomslayer. I'm sorry. Okay,
Oh.
mine. I have a -4 modifier, so
Okay.
me smart.
So 14. You got a 14.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you get, Mac?
30. 1. So 1.
Okay. A 1 total?
In total, yeah.
Okay. And Ray, what'd you get?
Dirty 20.
30-20. Alright. Sounds good. So you guys remain up there as you wait for the sun to set and the moon to rise. You don't really have any ability to make like a fire or anything. However, you don't really need to, because the heat from the volcano below you guys. By the way, if you look down into the crater, you can just see like a giant pit that leads straight down into the lava below, and you can see it bubbling and gurgling down there, and then flowing out to the rest of the island. So the heat rising is enough to keep you guys warm, even as you're sitting up on this big rock, basically, and looking down upon the island from this high altitude. Would you guys like to talk or anything as you're sitting up there waiting for night to fall, or are you just there?
Jib Jubby would like to just take a nap.
Okay. Be careful not to roll over. Would you guys also like to take a short rest?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can regain any hit points that you might have lost. I don't think anyone was actually low, so just ignore it if you're not actually hurt or anything. And I don't. Does it require a long rest or a short rest to get back your paladin?
Yeah, it's a long rest if they're
Healing.
healing without using hit die.
Well, I'm saying their ability to lay on hands and that kind of thing.
That's a long rest.
Long rest, okay. So yeah, that's all that happens. Alright, once night has fallen and the moon rises, the goblin kind of pulls out the book again and he's like, "So, you guys think this'll work?"
No.
Of course.
No, you're the one who had the idea.
It was a guess, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Oh, we'll see.
Alright, so you guys wait a little bit longer until the moon is like getting closer to like directly above overhead. And then the goblin decides to open the book, taking a deep breath as he does. And as he opens it, he sees, or like you guys can see, that when the moonlight hits the bunch of scribbles and stuff, the scribbles kind of begin to fade away and glow with a strange glow, like yellowish light.
Glint.
What'd you say?
I said glint, but go ahead.
Yeah, sure, whatever. So the scribbles kind of glow a little bit, and then they disintegrate. Yes, exactly like that. That's a lot of Febreze. So the symbols
my
all.
brother's back.
What?
I just said my brother's back.
Okay. The scribbles all glow and then disappear, revealing that there are some very faint, like silvery words appearing on the pages instead. You can see that there is quite a lot of information on like ancient rituals for caring for the earth gods. There is information on like the proper way to make sacrifices to the gates, or the Gate of Veritas or whatever, and it tells about like different herbs and things that you can throw into the volcano in order to like please the gods in different ways and like calm them down in certain situations. There are also instructions on like the proper way to like do combat and that kind of thing. So there's basically just like a lot of religious information in this book. There's also at the back of it some spells, like some highly complex ritualistic spells that you guys have never seen before. They're like really strange looking spells, the kind of which no one in your party has really experienced. And also there is like an entire chapter devoted to just explaining the truth, and that is where Ray's role comes in. So Ray, you rolled high enough to take a look around the island, and you noticed that it didn't, like the shape of it. Let me bring up the map again, or I guess just hold it up to you guys. Actually, no, you can't see my camera. Okay, does anyone have the stream pulled up?
I'm going.
Here, maybe I can share my screen. I don't know. There's.
Don't bother doing that. You'll lag real bad.
Okay, that's a good point. I will do it this way. I will just open the map here. I really should have prepared slightly better, but this is the map, which I know many of you probably can't see yet, but if this is the map, you can see that it's got like a spine of rocks going all the way down the middle, and the very bottom is curving a little bit as it goes towards Dead Man's Cape, and that's where the kind of curved rock outcropping was that you guys crashed your ship into. To the right, you see that there's like a outcropping here, and there's a outcropping on the other side. And the other side, as you're looking, Ray, you will notice that both sides of the island are very symmetrical. So this map is kind of inaccurate on this part. It's not this bulgy and this weird. It's actually very symmetrical, and in fact, you would say it looks like a giant turtle. It looks like you are on the very top center of the back of a giant turtle, and each of these outcroppings are not just like little sandbars that extend far. They're actually giant legs, and the back of the bottom is the tail of a giant creature, and the very top to the north is a giant head. And you realize this, and you're like, oh, is this a giant creature? And as you guys begin to read the giant chapter on the truth, you can see the same information talking about how the earth gods are actually just a gigantic creature that all the humans and orcs have been living on the back of for all this time. So it's essential to keep the beast happy so it doesn't awake and, well, basically kill everyone and ruin their way of life. And it also talks about how you should never let anybody go up on top of the mountain like you guys currently are, because then they would realize this and all that, and it would ruin the power that they have of being able to communicate with the gods, quote unquote. So basically, this is like a book that's passed down for generations of the keepers of the mountain, and they don't want people to know that, or like they don't want the general populace to know that what the truth is. So they just call it the gods or whatever. But essentially, you guys are living on the backs of a giant creature.
I look at the book, and then at the legs, and back at the book. I'm like, so our religion of the Earth Gods is a sham?
And the goblin kind of looks up at you guys, and he's like, I don't know. I was never told the truth myself. My father intended to show me this book when I was old enough, but then he vanished without a trace before I was of age. So I never got to fully be taught what I needed to know to be the witch doctor of the island. I feel like I've been lied to as well. Is this true? And he kind of looks to you like, what do you think? I'm scared.
According to these writings and what we see up here.
Mm-hmm. Also, Guy Dude, or anyone who has spellcasting ability, if you would like to start copying down any of these spells in the back of the book, you can.
I do.
You can do that. Okay.
Can I do that as a paladin?
Well, I mean, I think you can. Yeah. So you can copy down these spells.
Depending, it depends on what type of spells they are. You might not be able to cast them, but you can write them down.
Yeah, they are only they're only visible in this book when the full moon is shining on them. So you might not have time to copy down like all these spells or anything. You might only have time to copy down one, especially if multiple of you are trying to do it.
Can we roll to jot down multiple? Like 1 through 10, you do 1. From 10 to 20, you get 2, or something like that.
Roll me a d20 on intelligence, I guess, because I'm trying to balance this with the amount of time you have, with also reading through the other stuff in the book, like the truth and all that nonsense.
Okay, I got 13.
The goblin is also going to be wanting to copy down these spells as well. So
I got
split
13.
between the three of you. Okay, 13. What'd you get, Guy Dude?
I'm rolling intelligence.
I guess so, because I don't know what to roll.
Yeah.
Oh no. Fail.
You crit fail?
Yeah.
Oh no! Just drops the book off the mountain.
Throws the book into the lava.
Oh
no!
And Jack doesn't need to roll. So let me roll for the goblin. Okay. So the goblin is also like trying to copy down as much as he can, because like this is his heritage. This is he really wants to know. So he copies down 2 of these spells. Ray, you only managed to copy down 1 of these spells. These are very complicated spells, and they take up multiple pages, so it takes some time. And then, Guy Dude, you don't copy down anything. By the time it gets to your turn to begin looking at the book, the full moon is beginning to set on, or like it's getting out of position, so it's no longer lined up with the spine of rock, or spine of, what's the word, mountains anymore, and it just kind of is like out of alignment, and the words begin to like swim along the page, and they're no longer glinting and clear silver words. They become basically just like little sandy, you know, like if you're looking at sand, there's like little bits of mica that are shining random little shinies at you.
This is a great description.
I am terrible at thinking right now, so I'm trying to describe in proper form the magic.
I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it fades away and the scribbles come back.
You see the words, right?
The camera doesn't focus on them.
Yeah, they're like that. You can't read it. See?
What?
Done. It was amazing. Obviously, I'm just good at
You were
that
holding
because
it a bit above the camera.
Anyway, so it just the shining words basically just kind of dissolve into like little bits of starlight and then fade away, and the page goes back to being nothing more than a page of scribbles, and you don't get anything copied down, Guy Dude. But you can look on with the spell that Ray copied. if you
I
would
don't
like
even
me...
know what I copied.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that Guy did like split the paper among the three of you, so you guys could all write. Ray, would you like me to describe this new spell to you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so this is a spell that's called Exorcism. You can touch a willing person or creature and separate any minor parasites, diseases, or weak magical corruption from the person or entity. It becomes an enemy that you have to fight. It does not hurt the creature that you're like extracting the evil energy or whatever from, but it does become an enemy that you have to fight. What's your question, Hawk?
Oh, did they write down like the actual spell version of it or like the ritual version of it? Because every spell has a ritual. Like there are two versions.
I was just gonna say they copied down all the information about it, so it could be either way.
Well, but I was just wondering
Like
because in your
both.
description you said like it was a bunch of complicated rituals, but then you just started calling them spells, and so
I mean, I said there were both. There are rituals for like keeping the gods happy, and there are also like spells, and the spells can have rituals. So it's kind of both.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering because if you
So
cast a
they
spell as a
could cast
ritual,
this
it
as
takes...
a ritual, or they could cast this as a spell.
Okay.
Is what I would say. So basically, this spell allows you to touch like a willing creature. Like say, Guy Dude is infected with the plague, so Ray could like put his hand on Guy Dude, and then like basically like pull out the infection. And what are you tapping your pencil for? What are you doing? Are you mimicking? Okay, so it's like you pull out the corruption or magical disease or whatever, or parasite that's within the creature, and you kind of throw it to the side. So that person gets healed, but then you have to fight this creature, and the more of whatever corruption it is that you've pulled out, the bigger and stronger the enemy that you have to fight will be. So it heals the person, but at the cost of you now having to be in a fight with the corruption itself.
Okay.
And you can, whoever has that
So
book
this
can also
wouldn't
use that spell, I guess.
work on literal ghost possessing people, would it?
What do you mean?
Because okay, ghost possesses an ally. I can't use exorcism on him
Why not?
because he's not willing.
No,
The ghost would be in control, not the person being possessed.
well, I would say that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. I would say that since the host creature, like this is talking about like parasites as well. So since the host creature would be willing, it wouldn't, like basically what it just means is
So touch the host, basically.
yeah.
A willing host.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be that they are willing in their mind, I guess. So just say, like, you have to touch a creature, I guess, to make it simpler, so we don't have to deal with the whole semantics of who's in control, I guess.
Alright, got it.
Okay.
So Guy Dude and I can both use exorcism, I suppose.
Yeah. So Guy Dude, if you'd like to copy down from Ray's notes afterward, you can do that as well. In the light of the full moon.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And Glampario's just kind of sitting there. What are you doing, Glampario?
Wait, so the island's in the shape of a turtle?
Yep. Giant.
Hey, Glambario, you found your home!
Like 68-mile wide turtle. Or 68
Okay,
mile long.
so maybe this is Glomporio's home, but maybe Glomporio has something to do with the Earth Gods themselves.
Glampario is the Earth Gods.
I would not doubt it. Wait, hold on.
Oh, he's muted. So Ray, if you'd
Right,
like, you can try to cast this spell on Guy Dude, because Guy Dude is still
I thought I fixed him up the other day by...
like I said, the dragons and dragonborns and that kind of thing are affected more by this plague than other things. So I said that you helped him. It did help like significantly, but it wasn't enough to fully eradicate the plague out of him.
Alright.
I got sick.
Yeah, you got sick when you weren't here. You failed a couple con saves.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I then use.
You'd like to try it out?
Yeah, I'd like to
Okay.
try it out on him.
Okay, you are on the top of the volcano. I will say that you have probably about 10 feet of leeway between the sheer drop into the crater of the volcano down to the lava and the edge of the volcano where you can just like fall off to your death as well. So just letting you know in case you have to fight a thing.
How many times per long rest, short rest can I use this? You didn't tell me
I would
that.
say you can use it, like it's a level 1 spell, so if you use it as a spell slot, you can use it only the number of times you have spell slots. But if you cast it as a ritual, you can cast it an unlimited number of times, but you have to use the ritual every time, which usually rituals take like 10 minutes, right, Hawk? Or is that...
It depends. If it's a druid ritual, it takes an hour. That's why
Let's
I was
just say
asking,
the ritual
'cause-
takes 10 minutes, or 5 minutes actually, let's be generous. Because why not? We got a lot of infected people on this island.
Okay, so I'd like to use the right spell on Guy Dude.
Okay, is Guy Dude
After.
okay with this?
After
This.
we get to the base of the mountain.
Okay.
I don't want to be standing near a volcano and lose another character from the volcano.
It just dropped Jebby in a volcano. Glomparia, what were you saying before you muted yourself? Something about you being the Earth Gods or something?
Yeah, Glomporio might have something to do with the Earth Gods themselves.
Whoa.
That's like my theory.
I mean, please explain. I don't know what I'm talking about, so.
Alright, so what if I were to be the one to take care of the Earth Gods, but then I got old, I lost my memory, I don't know where I was, so I started exploring the world.
Oh my gosh, you're actually the goblin's father all this time. Holy cow.
The goblin doesn't remember being a turtle.
Yeah, that's the one plot hole with
I
this.
was. Yeah, what if it's like. Maybe I was supposed to be there, but then I left, so like the line was passed down to the goblins.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I really like that. That's hilarious. I might be okay with this. If you want to say that that's your character backstory, we can retcon it and maybe have you roll a intelligence check to see if you remember it now that you're like hearing all this intense truth. Yeah.
And that's how we know about the book.
Yeah. Well, he's like, wait a minute, I've seen that book. I know how it works. I wrote that book. Glompario is secretly a master wizard this whole time. It's like inventing all these spells.
Okay, let me start the dice roller. Intelligence.
So
will
many
I
things
roll
in this
intelligence?
campaign have just changed based on random whims.
Yes, intelligence is memory.
Alright. Alright, so this is canon now. Nat 20.
Oh my gosh! Alright, Glompario, you suddenly, have you ever seen Death Note? When
Yeah.
Kira touches, the notebook again and remembers everything?
Oh my god, I remember that.
Yes, that happens to you. You just, like, suddenly have all your memories rush back and you're like, ah, my brain! And, you were apparently going, or, like, you either were or you were going to be one of the Keepers of the Earth at one point. But then something happened to you, something went wrong, and you got stranded, and this goblin's father took over in your place, and then this goblin was going to pass the job on to this goblin that you're with currently. But then,
It's the goblin's father who made him forget.
maybe, you never know. Maybe that's what the goblin had, or like, the goblin got his just desserts. His comeuppance. He disappeared too. So yeah, what are you gonna do now that you just like start screaming again on the top of this mountain?
Scare everybody.
And Guy Dude and Jebby are like, whoa, what? And the goblin also kind of looks at you and is like, what is wrong with you?
Okay, my family has to be quiet, so I just hope you can do the exposition. wants me to be quiet.
Okay. What would you like to do, though? Or should we just end it here? We could, because we're technically a half hour over anyway. We can just leave it with that bombshell announcement.
Yeah, sure.
Is everyone else okay with that?
Sure.
Alright, well, this is canon now. Glampario was one of the keepers of the earth. We can talk more, Jack, if you'd like to change any stats based on this newfound identity that you have. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks everyone for coming out to the stream and for hanging out with us. I'm sorry you couldn't hear some of it, Caleb. We can try to figure out the technical difficulties for next time.
That's alright.
Hopefully.
It's my internet's fault.
Rip. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna end it for now, and have a good day, everyone. Ending stream. We can